Hey there, guys. Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thanks for being here. I am streaming this live. If you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Taylor. I go live every single day, 7 days a week for 3 hours a day on Periscope, which is like Twitter Live. You can follow me on Periscope and Twitter at the same username as I use on YouTube as well. I'm live on both platforms right now. NextJuice and EXJuice. Nex is short for Nexus, a connected group. There's no T in it. And then Juice is that juicy special quality and energy that we have in this community. And I'm a live streamer. So this is going to be a long broadcast. We're going to go all over the place. I am going to read comments and we're going to cover a lot of different information. So hang in there with me. I'm not a typical YouTuber. I don't really edit my videos. I just stream live and we have a real-time conversation about what's going on. So right now is March 16th, 2020, and there's a big coronavirus scare going on right now. So the markets are crashing. And when I say scare, I'm not trying to deny that it exists. There's just coronavirus is causing shutdowns, quarantines, curfews, etc. all around the world. So it is officially a pandemic, which means it's global. And because of that, businesses are being impacted and the markets are being impacted and the Federal Reserve is being impacted. So therefore, there's a lot to talk about tonight. So I do go live every day for 3 hours a day. I haven't gone live yet today, and this might be the only broadcast I do today. I'm ready to sit here and talk about this stuff and research this stuff and value different companies for 3 hours straight. Hey, Mark Gage, first comment over on YouTube. Josh, I think you were first on Periscope. You were. Hey, guys. Hi. Thank you for the Super Hearts. Brent is the top contributor of Super Hearts right now, and he sent the first Super Hearts to the broadcast. Hang on, my space heater's on, and it's kind of too hot right now. I'll turn it on if I need it. Sorry for the background noise, too. I just sometimes get a little cold. This is actually his idea. He said, the markets are crazy right now, the world is crazy, so an investment style broadcast might be something good to do. I've done a lot of these before, but never in a market like this, where we're seeing massive decreases in prices overnight, consistently, almost every day. So, hi, Miles. Oh, Miles, do I have you as Tiger Kitten over here? I hope I do. I thought you were Cornholio, so you're telling me you're not Cornholio? I emailed you and I didn't hear back, but I'm trying to figure out who's Cornholio on Periscope. Am I on Scope too? Yes, I am. Hey, Chloe. Hey, girl. Tattoos and beer. Yes! I had a beer earlier with dinner, and I also have a couple tattoos, so I feel like we're already friends. My weekend was good. How was yours? Excited about this one? Yeah. Nexus for the rest of us. It's not Festivus. Let me get my coffee. That's what I was going to say. Get some snacks, get cozy, get a blanket, get comfortable and get in a good position to talk about this for a while. Michael, thanks for sharing this out. Yeah, guys, if you think this is interesting, share this out. So from what I understand, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong and I can look things up if there's a disagreement we come up with. Someone just said interest rates dropped to zero. Woo woo. I thought that was true too. I think it dropped close to zero. At last I checked, I think it was like 0.25% or something like that. But what did go to zero that I read, and tell me if anything's changed because things seem to be changing on a minute by minute basis, is that the Fed also changed the rule for banks that they no longer need to have any reserve of money kept on hand in their banks. They lowered that number to zero. I forget what the number was before that, but let's say it was, they had to have $100,000 or they had to have $1 million in the bank. Now that number has been changed to zero, which I found to be very interesting, very, massively, that's a massive change. And it scared me. I thought, does that mean if I go to the bank to try to take my money out, they won't have it? And just from talking to my boyfriend, he said that it probably just means that they basically have unbridled loaning from the Fed now. So they can basically loan anything they need and they can provide anything they need to people, and that the Fed is just basically saying they're going to cover everyone right now to try to prevent as much of a financial crisis as possible. But we'll see how effective that is with the panic going on. Queen, thank you for the super hearts. Thank you. Hey, Jerry, is it a good time for people to buy shares? In what, S? Let's start with that. So there's a few questions if somebody asks a general question like that. What shares are you considering buying and why? I think those are probably the two main questions. What's your current financial situation is another really important part, because investing isn't something that you do right off the bat. First, you need to we need to assess your debt situation, your savings situation, your income situation, and your plans with your investment, what you're hoping to get. Are you looking for short-term investments? Are you looking for buy and hold strategies? I don't do day trading. I don't do short-term investments. I only do buy and hold strategies. Right now, my main investment is a Roth IRA, which is an independent or individual retirement account. So that's something I can't touch until I'm about 60 years old. But I also have some shares in other companies that are individually owned. It's not through a Roth IRA, which was something that I didn't know about before. So I bought some shares in Twitter. I do want to talk about Twitter, but let me just try to catch up here. So prices are down right now. So we're going to look at some of the companies I previously evaluated. Some of you guys have been following me for a long time, and you've seen that I have done valuations on different companies. Now, I used 2 books to form these valuations, and I'll share those books with you now. Actually, let me grab another one while I'm up. If you don't know, hi, I'm Taylor. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thanks for being here. Big shout outs to all these people that make this channel possible at the link nextjuice.com. You'll find it in the profile if you are into that kind of thing. So these are 3 books I want to share with you guys. I love to read. I do book reviews live on this channel, on Periscope, as well as on YouTube. They're usually easier to search through YouTube. I also want to talk about a new Periscope update that just came out today. If you guys haven't updated your app, now is a good time to do so. Maybe not right now while I'm talking, but as soon as you think of it, because it's a really cool new update. So let me hold them up one at a time. This one's not one of the ones that I'm using for the strategy I'm using right now, but this is a book that I enjoyed. It's called Financial Freedom. This book was the first book that really convinced me to seriously consider real estate investing, because I already have somewhat of a diversity of investments that I already have. And I think the next step for me to have a fully diverse portfolio would be to consider getting one rental property, see how I manage that, see what kind of return I get off that, see if I like it, and if it's something I want to continue to dabble in. I also am dating a real estate broker who's successful in the business and has been doing it for 10 years, so I have an edge that way as well. So this is called Financial Freedom, A Proven Path to All the Money You'll Ever Need by Grant Sabatier. And I really enjoyed this book. It talks about a lot of different retirement accounts that you can invest in, pretty much anything that you could possibly invest in. He talks about in here, and he talks about how to figure out what number you need, like basically to evaluate the amount of money that you're spending now, the amount of money you have coming in now, how much money that you would need to have right now today to be considered financially free to be retired. Let's say a lot of people call that retired. I don't love the term, but I did a whole book review on this one, so you can check it out on my replays if you want. It's called Financial Freedom. I enjoy that book. I grabbed it while I was over there. But the 2 main books that I have used to create the strategies and the valuation strategy to figure out pricing for these companies that we'll be talking about tonight are these 2 books here. So the first one I read was Invested: How Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger Taught Me to Master My Mind, My Emotions, and My Money by Danielle Town. She's the daughter of Phil Town, who wrote this book, Rule Number 1, The Simple Strategy for Successful Investing in Only 15 Minutes a Week. I said that in my review of this book, 15 minutes a week is a clickbait kind of title. It's not 15 minutes a week. It's going to be significantly more when you're doing the initial research. Maybe you can manage it for 15 minutes a week after that. But before you pull the trigger on buying an independent company, you're going to do hours of research on the company ahead of time. So we've done that level of research on several different companies together in the past. We're going to look at the prices that we came up with as being reasonable prices that we would be willing to buy those companies for. At the time, they were all priced over the value. So they were overvalued, meaning that the price was higher than the value. So we're going to see if that has changed for any of these companies in the recent dips in the markets. And I missed tons of comments during that, so I apologize. Let me catch up. I do like to catch all the comments when possible. Yes, you may ask a question, of course. Hey, Victoria. Mark, thank you for the super hearts. Hey, Chris. Wow, lots of love in here tonight. All right. Once this is over, markets will shoot straight up likely. I don't know if they'll shoot straight up. So that's another thing my boyfriend and I were talking about earlier tonight, is that when markets when they plummet or if they skyrocket quickly, they tend to recover at a slower pace than the than what triggered that to happen in the beginning. So for them to have a big dip and then to skyrocket back up is not as common as it would be to have a big dip and then slowly recover, or to have a big bubble or a boom and then to slowly recover back down. Recover probably isn't the right word, but to correct. Correct, right? So we're not completely rational purchasers, so the market's never completely rational. Efficient market hypothesis, all that good stuff. We've talked about a lot of this stuff before. If you have questions, let me know. Hi, Chris. Bonds. By the way, you're looking stunning tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. I put my makeup on a long time ago, so it's really starting to kind of come off and look crazy, and thank you for the compliment. I am not Cornholio, that I promise. Who is Cornholio? Hi, Midnight. Hi, Mark. Next of us for the rest of us. There's no tea. Hi, Victoria. Thanks for inviting. I'm alive and I have money saved. I'm in high spirits. That's wonderful. Me too. I'm thinking about investing in a haircut person shop. Maybe I should take my money out though. What's your fear about leaving your money in the bank? Hi, Ron. I'd invest in that. Hi, Brian. If Ed is not responding to you, Brent, it might be because he's playing Mario Kart upstairs. The Fed's interest rate for banks borrowing money is near zero. That doesn't mean we are getting zero from local banks. Right. However, it may be past. The banks want us to borrow money, and that will likely be down. So because their rates have been lowered, they could lower rates. But we'll have to see. You don't invest. Coronavirus is bad. Maddie... We're not investing in coronavirus. I don't even know what you think those two things have to do with each other. If you have money that you can invest when something goes on sale, that's usually a good time to invest in it. So just like if you wanted to buy a product, if it went on sale, you're going to get a better value than if you buy it when it's overpriced. So that's what we're talking about right now. It's not about whether or not the coronavirus is good or bad. I've never met anyone who said this virus is really great, you know, it's killing a bunch of people and everybody loves that. No. Because of what's happening, the markets have dipped, and that may be putting some businesses on sale. So if you are looking to invest, it might be a good time, but who really knows? Now, let me also say I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't something I do for a living. I'm not a professional. I like to read books. I like to talk about them on here, and I like to apply the strategies that I learn in books to real life. And this is not just for financial books. This is for all the books that I read. So I do a lot of different things here, but you can watch my replays. I don't need to waste time repeating myself. This is just market confidence thing. Retail shopping is so high it made up for the dismal Black Friday. Boyfriend, 3 kids. I have, my boyfriend has 2 kids. Bud Lee says airline stock. Okay, interesting. So the companies that I haven't evaluated any airline companies as of yet, but if you watch my replays, if you don't want to sit here and wait for me to get to it, you can watch some of my replays, and I do show you step by step exactly how I come up with the prices for these companies. And I think I should really have like an investing or financial playlist on YouTube. I'm not sure if I've put that together or not, so if I don't have that, just let me know in the comments and I will make sure to add that to my to-do list. Hope you sold your Twitter. Absolutely not. I bought Twitter at $18 a share, so it's still at $24. It's still up a lot from where I bought it. And what's happening with Twitter, so let me talk about this because I feel like I'm never going to catch up with comments anyway. So as of, I believe it was March 2nd, which was about 2 weeks ago, thank you for those super hearts. Thank you. I can't see who that is. Let me click. Greg, thank you. Oh, and the Periscope update is so nice too. Okay, so Twitter Periscope kind of tied together. Let me say this and then I'll catch up with the comments. So on, I believe it was March 2nd, a hedge fund owned by a Republican billionaire became a near majority shareholder in Twitter. Now, this is information, I watched one video about this. Again, if any of my information is incorrect or outdated, please let me know. And this person has different values and sees a different future and potential in the company of Twitter than the current management seems to. So they have clearly stated in the past, in just 2 weeks, I think they did it actually a week ago, they said they wanted 4 different people put on the board of directors and they wanted to replace the CEO, Jack Dorsey. From what I understand, Jack Dorsey owns about 2% of the company Twitter, which puts him in a pretty vulnerable position from what I understand. Again, this isn't what I do professionally. If you have any other inputs or perspectives, let me know. I personally kind of like this because I have been frustrated as a live streamer on Periscope. I have gone live on this platform for every single day for over 3 years in a row. I've done over 3,000 live streams, and the support for live streamers and the support for live, not just live content creators, but for the audience as well, for the Periscope app in general, which has been owned by which has been owned by Twitter now for I think nearly 5 years, has been abysmal and shrinking. And live streaming is such a valuable source of media right now. And Periscope is the best live streaming app I've ever seen. And that's including all these tech glitches and low support. I mean, it's just, it's fundamental vision. I think the vision of the creator, Kayvon Bakpour, is a little bit different than I think what it has a lot of potential to be used for. It could be used for what he wanted it for as well. Think of a periscope, right? A periscope is something that comes up out of the water. It looks away from the person operating it and it looks around. So that's what he wanted. He wanted us to take our phones, go live, and show the world around us. However, most people aren't doing that. They're pointing it at themselves and they're saying, here's what I think. Here are my opinions. Here's what's going on in the world from what I think. Occasionally we'll show around, maybe we travel and we show what's around us, but a lot of it is about, it's more of a mirror than a periscope. It's looking at us. Now, the name of the company doesn't matter and the purpose of the company doesn't matter because it's owned by Twitter. So what's the best usage of it for Twitter is really what needs to happen. Twitter's really trying to compete as a social media app, right? They're losing market share to things like Instagram and Facebook, YouTube. So they have the best live streaming platform of all of those. Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. I'm on YouTube Live right now, but nothing quite compares to the user interface of Periscope. Really, I'll just leave it as the user interface, the experience of Periscope, the way that the app itself works. So I don't want Periscope to be the next Vine. Twitter owned Vine and it died. And then TikTok is now basically what Vine was, and TikTok is massively successful, almost seemingly overnight. If you don't realize when you're holding a diamond and you just let it go to somebody else or just let it die, someone else is going to shine their diamond brighter and take over with something that you have quite the potential. You have so much of an advantage to make this live streaming app something so great. So I'm hoping that new management would actually value this amazing asset of Periscope and make it better. So today, an update to the Periscope app came through. So you can see it on your App Store or Google Play Store. And there, if you view my profile right now, if you click the 3 dots at the bottom of the page, I think actually maybe if you just do that, no, if you click that and then click my name next to the orange or my name or anywhere on that line, you'll see everything looks a little bit different. So what you should see is you should be able to see all my broadcasts, which actually looks like there's over 4,000 broadcasts. I've even lost track of my own broadcasts. So I've done over 4,000 broadcasts. Prior to today, you could only see the past 99 broadcasts I had done. Now you can see all 4,000 of them. You can see who I'm following, who my followers are, which you've always been able to see, but now you can also see who's following me that you follow, which is something they have on Twitter. You also might notice that the look of my profile now is a little bit more like Twitter. So we can see this integration happening. We can see Periscope and Twitter merging more into one another. They're really trying to merge Periscope. I mean, the fact that it's not Twitter Live yet blows my mind. When I got in this app over 3 years ago, I thought, oh, well, it's going to be Twitter Live when I wake up tomorrow. And here we are 5 years later that they've owned it and it's still not Twitter Live. And some people on Periscope, I know they're very much against that. I have 126,000 followers on Periscope. I think I have like 3,000 on Twitter. I don't know. I mean, it's not the same. We're worried about losing our base on Periscope. Some people on Periscope don't have a Twitter, blah, 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 blah. If I'm Twitter, I don't see the point in having this obscure app called Periscope that a lot of people don't know about or use. I would definitely want to make that Twitter Live and put my Twitter mark on it and have people only need to have one app in order to utilize all the benefits. People would be able to send super hearts while watching a live stream through Twitter. People would be able to send direct messages through watching a live app through Periscope. Whichever way it goes, I can see the benefits of integrating the two. So those are some updates in terms of Twitter. Twitter is the one individual company that I personally bought. I did not buy it based on the valuation strategies and pricing strategies that we're going to be talking about tonight. I bought it on a hunch. I bought it on a whim. I bought it on some advice of people who told me, buy something you use all the time, buy a company you believe in, emotional buying. And I got really lucky. I happened to buy Twitter when it was $18 at the end of 2017. We're in early 2020 now. It just, after this crazy dip, it's still at $24. So I've still made a good profit on it. I don't plan on selling it. I'm hoping it continues to go down back to $18 again, where I'll buy a bunch more of it, a lot more. Last time I only spent $500 on it. So again, I'm a bit of a novice, and I definitely got lucky with that one. But Twitter is a company that I do believe in and would like to see flourish and do well and live long into the future. So there we go. I did not sell. That was in response to, hope you sold your Twitter. I did not. I don't plan to. I'd like to buy more. Hey, Willie. Hey, Kyle. But I wouldn't recommend everybody buy Twitter. So I've done a lot of broadcasts about these books. I might not have time to cover all of the information in those books that I just shared with you guys. But I will say to invest in your circle of competence. So it has to be a company that you're capable of understanding, a company that you're capable of researching, something that you're interested in enough that you can sit there and read its annual reports and study the company and listen to its quarterly calls and everything that goes into being an owner of a company, because that's what you're doing. I know you're buying a very tiny piece of it, unless you're watching this and you're a billionaire, which I assume you're not. But you're still an owner. You own this company. View it as if you do own the company. View it as if you are buying the company. Imagine that you bought the entire company. What would you want? How would you look at this? Kind of taking an owner's mentality when you're purchasing a company. That's how I like to do it. That's how the Towns do it. Danielle and Phil Town, the ones whose strategies I use in what I'm doing here. So again, it's buy and hold long-term strategies for investing in companies. Now, the Financial Freedom book I told you by Grant Sabatier, he shared a stat that was something like 3% of investors that buy individual companies outperform the market. So if you were to just buy the market, a total market index fund, you're going to get returns over a long period of time. Judging by history, right? No one can guarantee anything in the future, but over the last 100 years, on average, the market has increased roughly, I believe it's between 6 and 8%. So let's say 7% per year over the last 100 years. So you're going to get roughly that rate of a return. It's going to increase your money not only to offset inflation, which is why you don't want to keep it in a savings account, but also to make your money worth more into the future, to go along with inflation, and also to have extras, to put your money to work. And also you're investing in companies that you believe in, that you value, that you find interesting, that you think are good companies that you would actually want to own and put your name and your stamp of approval on. So you're also, in a way, you can look at it as like you're helping these companies. I know most of them are going to be really big companies. You don't feel like you're really helping them, but you're voting with your dollars. You're saying, this is a company I believe in. This is a company I want to do well. This is a company I believe will do well and has good future potential. Okay? Banks have to earn money, so local banks won't have zero interest rates, although their rates will fall as well. Exactly, Twin. Thanks, Maddie. Just doing short-term store selling bread, toilet paper, depends purely, and water. I don't know what purely is. Mutual funds? It could be mutual funds, Brian. So the total market index fund I invest in my Roth IRA is called VTI. It's an ETF. ETFs and mutual funds are very similar. I believe I've studied this before and I always forget because it's just not that big of a deal for me. I'm a very pragmatic person, so I really remember the things that are practical and that I need to remember. And I have a pretty strong memory, but certain things that are kind of like trivial details to me, sometimes I have to look things up a lot before I really remember it. Like I said, I don't do this professionally or every single day. So I believe the difference between mutual funds and ETFs is how they're managed. I believe exchange-traded funds, ETFs, are virtually managed through, they're passively managed. And I believe mutual funds are more actively managed. So there's more people involved. So typically, if I understand correctly, mutual funds typically have higher percentage management. You're going to pay a little bit more of a percentage because it's managed more actively by humans, where the ETFs are a little bit more like robo-investor managed. They're not completely robo-investor, but they're more passively managed than mutual funds, which means you get off with paying a little bit less of a percentage management fee for that fund. So I invest in VTI, which is the Vanguard Total Market Index Fund. I use E-Trade as my brokerage. So E-Trade is a brokerage where if you get a Vanguard Total Market Index Fund like VTI, then you don't pay any, E-Trade doesn't charge you anything for trades of that stock, and VTI charges, I think it's 0.3%. In the Financial Freedom book by Grant Sabatier, he says try never to pay more than 0.3% fees for any of these things as much as you can. So pick your brokerage wisely, pick your funds wisely, make sure you read all the fine print and check those fees, because if you're only getting a 7% return, every percentage point really, really matters. Now that Barstool merged with Penn National, should I invert while it's low still? I'm not familiar with that. So I've only evaluated and actually priced out like 5 companies, I believe. So again, I do this kind of as like a hobby. It's kind of an interesting thing that I do on the side of other things that I do. I'm a full-time student of psychology, so I don't really study a ton of finance in my school. This is all just like free time extra stuff that I do, and I share what I learn and what I think with you guys, and I learn from you guys too. Thank you, Smitty, for the super hearts. Butter says now's not the time to invest. I find that really interesting. Can you tell me why you think that is? See, this is why a lot of people are selling their stocks. Why a lot of people are saying, I'm going to take my money out of the banks. Fear is a powerful driver. People make financial decisions based on emotion, and when they do that, they tend to lose. They lose at the game of money. You have to be as rational as possible, but you also have to remember that the markets are not rational. So when everyone else in the market is buying, usually that's not the best time to buy. And when everyone else in the markets are selling, that's usually a better time to buy. So going against, swimming upstream, going against the herd and the sheeple is typically where I like to be. That's usually how you're going to get sales. That's usually how people win at the game of money, if you look at it that way. But just going along with whatever, if you're afraid and you act out of fear, if you're too afraid to do anything right now, don't do it, because you're too emotional right now to make a decision. I'm not saying you should go buy anything right now. I also haven't said you should buy anything to begin with. I'm just saying this is a good time to check in with the prices. Another person saying buy airlines. Invest, we got to worry about paying our bills right now. So this is interesting, Kev. So Kev, I think, is probably an employee and might be out of work for a little while. So yeah, if you're worried about cash flow, if you're worried that you might not have any money coming in for the next month or 2 months or 3 months or however long this lasts, then yeah, you're not looking to invest. That's what I've said already, but maybe you got here a little bit late. So the first thing we need to pay attention to is our debt. Second is our income. Third is our savings, and then fourth would be investments. So if you haven't figured out those 3 things, you don't even need to sit here. If you're interested in it and you want to know for the future, great. You're going to forget most of the things I say by that point anyway. If you want to talk privately, that's fine. You can message me anywhere. All my direct messages are open. I can try to tell you what I think you should do in your particular specific situation. But this is particularly for people who are interested in investing. So if you're not interested in investing, this probably isn't the right broadcast for you. If you're worried about paying your bills, I totally agree with you. You should not be investing right now. You should be figuring out what's going on with your cash flow, what's going on with your expenses, what's wrong there. So there's basically 3 levers to financial success. There's income, money coming in, there's expenses, money going out, and then there's investments. And you have to kind of adjust those levers accordingly, depending on how that's looking for you in your grand scheme. So everyone's different, right? I'm at a point where I do want to pull on that investment lever. You might not be. Cash isn't going to matter soon. It's all about gold. Yeah, you can definitely diversify in precious metals as well. Physical or investing in companies that have those, like paper gold or investing in gold in the markets. Ruan, you will do screenshots of me talking? Okay. Just dropping by. Buyers. Hi, Tim. REITs. Real estate investment. Yeah. Oh my God. So many comments, you guys. We're never going to get to the companies. Matt, Dave, Michael. Hi. Rental properties are great. Real estate never goes away. Right. Real estate. Work is busier than ever for me, fortunately. Yeah. And I feel the same way. I mean, I'm a live streamer and people are stuck in their houses right now and they're bored. So they're lonely. They want to talk to someone. They want to connect to a community, which we have here. And also they're looking to learn. They're looking to be entertained. So my business isn't negatively affected by this, I hope, and you can make sure that it's positively affected by doing that if you want. All right. Is that all the people Cash Apping you? Some people Cash App, some people Venmo. If you go to the actual website, I actually manage it through something called Super Pay It, which is through Stripe because PayPal shut me down and they're shutting down lots of creators like myself. So I just use, I basically do anything but PayPal. So I have a Cash App, I have a Venmo, and then I also use Stripe as my main payment processor. So Super Pay It is like my monthly, the people who support recurring every month and get access to my private Periscope group. Those are people that go just right through the website. You just click the word one time or monthly at the level that you want to support at. If you want to. If you aren't paying your bills, don't do that. Don't send me money, okay? Pay your bills. Take care of what you gotta take care of first, all right? I'm giving this to you for free. No worries. Chinese real estate? I mean, if you know something about that, I suppose. Thanks, Brian. I was kind of getting tired with my work too. This outbreak has kind of renewed my drive. Interesting. Slow down and listen to your following. Tracy, if all I did was read comments, it'd be pretty boring. So I got to do a little bit of give, and then I'll read your comments too. We share the airwaves here. It will take time to recover. Yeah. Is it possible to find a relationship on this app? Yeah, Chase. I met my boyfriend through Periscope. Stock goes down 50%, needs to go up 100% to get even, right? Sell the puts. Look at your username. That's fun. You know, I had started to look into that a little bit. Are you familiar with Bob the Gambler on Periscope? Interesting guy. He's in New Jersey as well as I am, and he was talking about puts a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's actually an interesting idea. It's not something that I have dabbled in yet, but maybe that's something in the future that I would, experiment with, perhaps. Probably particularly with Twitter right now. Was just thinking of the Y2K slump. The market shot straight up on the second when nothing happened. Eyelashes looking fab as always. Thank you. I don't even feel like you can see my eyelashes. Ooh, but my eyeliner is getting up onto. It's okay. You guys don't care. You just want to talk about money. Separate from everything. I hope you're okay. Look a bit flustered today. Really? I don't feel flustered. I feel excited. As soon as Trump disappears, the market. Well, I have a lot of things I want to talk about, so my energy is a bit frantic. All right, 3 deep breaths. I think Jeppers is wrong, unless you think that. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. One more deep breath in and out. I'm also a certified Hatha yoga teacher. I am going to talk fast because lots of comments are coming in, and I want to get to the stuff I really wanted to talk about as well. Someone said, as soon as Trump disappears, the market will recover. I'm not here to talk about politics. That's a whole nother conversation. I am right now reading The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump, written in 1987. Was the second biggest rise in the market's history? What stocks do you like and why? I just explained why I like Twitter. Products, high, but that I don't think Twitter is the best buy for everyone. It's okay. I still love you, Ed. You better win then. Invest in silver, especially now. How's the price of silver looking right now? Savings bank. Invest in mass companies. When or if market crashes. So the things that you guys are saying, like, okay, well, all those 100 comments that you guys sent just disappeared. So Periscope's the best live streaming app, but they could definitely improve in a lot of ways. So, investing in mass companies is a very short-term kind of view. These aren't the types of strategies that I'm talking about, like buying, long-term. Buy and hold. Okay, so I have done, I've done 5 company valuations. So I've done Microsoft, I've done Apple, I've done Amazon, I've done Twitter, and I've done First Republic Bank. So the next one that I had on my list to do was Google. She's 100 comments behind. Yeah, except all the comments just disappeared. So now I'm back to the present moment, but I also feel bad that are those monthly contributions on the left? Those are people that I've supported over the last 30 days. So some of those people are monthly supporters, and some of them just send the money one time. And some of them do it one time each month, but they're not necessarily automatic recurring monthly. Just about everything is overvalued about 3x. You still think that even now with the dips? Hey, chat. Hey, Saul. It's your first day. What do you mean? How come it doesn't tell me when you created your account? It might be because I have my phone in landscape. Oh, that's the other thing you can see now. You can also see when my account was created, when somebody joined Periscope. When you click their name now, because of the new update, you can see when they joined the app as well. So all these people who said that they've been on since blah, blah, blah time, now you can tell for real. You want me to handle PayPal since they acting up? Nah, I'm good, thanks. I seen a video of people literally throwing hands for the last roll of paper. Yeah. Watching Hannity. So what's the wave of the future? Consider Vanguard Financials Fund. Okay, who isn't? I'm going to invest in webcam features. Sell puts, get income. Taylor's behind 300. Sheeple. Yeah, sheeple. When a lot of people sell a particular stock, the stock value goes down. The price goes down. Okay, so let's make sure, and I think I even used the word value incorrectly earlier. So I said overvalued, but I meant overpriced. So the price is what you pay for something. The value is what it's worth. So basic economics is like supply and demand. So when your supply and demand lines meet up perfectly, that's your perfect price point. That's the rational, true value price of a product. When something is worth $5, but it's priced at $10, it's overpriced, but the value is the value. If it costs $1, then it's underpriced. It's worth more than you're paying, or it's worth less than you're paying, right? So the value isn't dependent upon the price. The price should be dependent upon the value, but we find oftentimes that it's not. I'm going to buy a whole airline. Correct on VTI. Can you find love on this app? I answered that already. Best time to buy. Me and my boyfriend are in love, if that's what you mean. It's all on sale. There you go, Mo Guy. Now is definitely the time to invest. This is like Periscope Bloomberg TV. I don't know that I would say I'm like Bloomberg, but I'm listening, but I don't know what she's saying. Midnight. Hi, sweetie. VTI at a 52-week low. Yeah, I'm going to be buying more in about a week, so hopefully the recovery doesn't happen in the next week. Based on this scope, Wall Street Journal planning to acquire Next Juice. No, we're not for sale. Well, how much are they willing to pay? I'd rather just save it in bank account. Hi, Matt. Thanks for inviting. She's in Scotland. I'm like answering questions for other people. Apple stores are all closed. Why would you want to buy it now? Do I even need to answer that question? Let's be honest. Okay. Smart girls are sexy. I agree with that. I don't like Twitter having all the smut X-rated content. I am looking in the wrong corners of Twitter, Samson. I never have seen that on Twitter. On Periscope sometimes, but even that gets shut down pretty quickly from what I can tell. Trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. What is that from? Drake or something? Went to 42 though. Only shows 60 replays. Did you update your app today? Rick in Vancouver, Canada. Hi, Rick. Twitter should ban Trump. The markets will skyrocket. Jumpers, you're funny. My previous videos finally got fixed to HD again from 360p. Nice, yes. I can see your replays from there. Yep. Didn't know Twitter owned Vine. Yeah, they did. Twitter's been banning way too many people for ridiculous reasons. Time for new CEO. Agreed. I don't know that the CEO is the reason that's happening, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Samson. My name's Taylor, but I appreciate the compliment. Hi, Dan. So, what's interesting about Jack Dorsey, who is the CEO of Twitter, is that he's also the CEO of Square, which is a payment processing company. So it's difficult to be the CEO, a good CEO of two companies, right, that do such different things. So it stands to reason that it would be challenging for him to be the best possible CEO for either company when he's trying to be the CEO of two very opposite, not opposite, but just very different companies that require a lot of attention, you know. Hi, Sean. New management oversight of Twitter. Yeah. I was wondering what was up with that. Yeah, Clyde, I'm glad that you came in. I've always been curious about penny stocks. Yeah, I don't really know much about that. What shares are 20-something? I was talking about Twitter, $24 a share. Does COVID-19 make you constantly tired? I've been constantly sleepy today. I've heard that it can. It's also spring, so it could be allergies, but my friend had given some good advice, I thought. He said, just assume that you have it and act as if you have it, right? So that's gonna make you the best way. It's gonna make you as safe as possible, so that you're taking care of your health and you're also not spreading it to other people. So let's all just assume we have it and just live as though we have it. We don't want to infect other people with it. We don't want to spread it around, and we also want to make sure that we are healthy and we recover as quickly as possible. I'm a big scaredy cat when it comes to the markets now. Really? Yeah, well then don't do it. That's fine. Hope you've made some good money from your investments. Yeah, absolutely, but I also haven't sold them yet, so it doesn't count until it's in the bank, right? But I can't touch my Roth IRA till I'm 60 anyway, which is good because sometimes emotion wants to come into the picture, and when you have a little protection like that, it keeps you from doing things that are stupid. Hi, Pat. Silver will shoot up and double or triple. Well, I know people that have been saying that for 12 years, or no, how long is, okay, about 10 years. I've been hearing that for about 10 years, so we'll see. All right, okay, I caught up with those comments. Elon Musk would beg to differ. New phone, new ID. I'm still adding people Scope limits ads per hour. Who knew? What? Wait. Hang on. I like opened your account and then didn't follow you. Okay, I followed you. Buffett is doubled down on Delta. Hey, Mechas, how are you? Okay, all right, cool. I actually read about all the comments. This is good. Hi, Hizo. All right. So I haven't run new numbers on these, so some of these companies probably have had like new earnings reports come out. I really should be tracking Twitter every time they do that, and Twitter's probably did come out a few weeks ago at least. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm a bit of a novice, but some of these are probably relatively new enough that we can look at them. Let's just see. So I'm going to open this up. Don't panic, okay? Don't panic. You're still going to see the top of my head. So if you get freaked out by the numbers, just look at the top of my head. Breathe. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Hey, Captain Chaos. Welcome to the chaos. All right. So this is Microsoft. These are the numbers that I ran. These are all publicly. Don't panic. It's okay. You don't have to do math. That's what the spreadsheet is for. It does the math for us. All right? He's just like, I'm going to panic. What are those numbers on the left? These numbers are the people who have supported this channel over the last 30 days. So these numbers are all publicly available. These are just numbers that I literally pulled from the reports that are publicly. The SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, requires all publicly traded companies, which means companies that you can buy stocks in as an investor like us on the public markets. They're required to report certain numbers every single year. So that's what these are, all right? So that's all it did. I went and I looked at their numbers, I took the numbers and I put them into my spreadsheet so that I could pull the numbers that I wanted based on the strategies from the two books I talked about earlier, but we'll quickly show again for anyone who just got here. That's the other thing about live streaming. I do tend to have to repeat myself again, so apologies for those of you who that drives crazy. I totally identify with you. Invested by Danielle Town and Rule Number 1 by Phil Town, her dad. I read this one first. I recommend you read this one first. It's a little bit less intense. Then this one's a little bit higher level. iSocialFit said, please hire a financial advisor. Sure, if you want to cut even more into that 7% potential return, be my guest. I don't care who you hire. We're just talking. All right, so here are the numbers. So, yeah, I don't have their 2019 numbers, but let's just look at their numbers based on what I had for 2018. I think I ran these numbers in September. There's 3 different pricing structures that we use. So I like to look at all 3 and see what we come up with. So this is what we call the 10 cap price per share, the 10 cap price, which is $86 per share. The payback time price, which is $72 per share, and the margin of safety price. So each one is based on different numbers. So the margin of safety price is so significantly lower because this is based on their earnings per share. And their earnings per share in 2018 was $3 per share, which wasn't great. Phil and Danielle Town have a great podcast called Invested. You know what? I downloaded a podcast app today. I'm totally I just closed the chat so I could go look at this, so I can't see your comments for just a second. I can on YouTube though. I bought J-Nug at $365 today, was $89 2 months ago. Interesting, Brent. Interesting. Is that a cannabis company? J-Nug kind of just sounds like a cannabis company to me. Castbox. Do you guys use this? Brent uses this. He sent me a link earlier, and so now I have this. No, I don't care about this. Okay, let me see if it's on here. Invested. Yeah, Philtown and Danielletown. Boom. Cool. All right, well, I just followed that podcast. When someone you trust and values, opinion, recommends you a book or a podcast or something like that, just do it, okay? Just listen, read first, ask questions later. I use the built-in app on the iPhone. It's called Podcasts. Yeah, I know a lot of people probably use that too, but I just got that today, and I have it, so I just followed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No one cares. All right, here we go. So because the earnings per share were so low in 2018, this margin of safety price is extremely low. I would call that somewhat of an outlier and probably not really expect the price of Microsoft shares to go down to $6 anytime soon. But I'll look at this number between $72 and $86. I would pretty much therefore say I don't want to buy it for more than $86. And I'm pretty sure that the Microsoft stocks probably did not dip down that much. But let's just check. So here's Microsoft's price as of today, $135.42. Okay, so look at the 1 year. Yeah, I mean, 1 year ago, they were lower than they are right now. So people are panicking, but 1 year ago, they were worth less. So we don't really need to worry about that because we're not going to buy it. I keep saying we. It's just me, right? I don't care what you guys do, honestly. This is just my thoughts. So I'm not going to buy that. Let's look at the next one. And I do have to pull the 2019 numbers. So maybe I'll leave that open so I remember to go pull those new numbers. All right, let's see who's next. Okay, here we go. You invested in Charmin and Cottonelle. What about Presto? Presto is the Amazon brand toilet paper. It's so cheap and it's so soft. So good, and the rolls are so big. Oh my god, I love Presto. Anyway, you know stocks well. I'll pay you for help. Why don't you just ask me what you want to ask me? Because I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't really want to accept money for financial advice since I don't have any certification or license in which to do that for you. But if you have a question that I might know the answer to, I can try. When are you going to do another ASMR? Tonight I'm thinking this broadcast is probably going to go the full 3 hours, but you know, I don't know. If it doesn't, maybe I'll do ASMR tonight. Don't know if a weed company can be publicly traded. I'm pretty sure they can. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of cannabis companies that are publicly traded right now. Did my broadcast crash? Why does it look frozen on my end? Is it frozen for you guys? I invested in my career. Bad time to invest in TP. I panicked real bad. About what? COVID says it hasn't been around. It hasn't been around long as the flu. That's why it's called novel. Novel means new. Toilet paper is best investment right now. I miss it. TP is going to hit a massive slump sooner. Right now you're buying in its peak. You're good here. Same thing as masks probably. That really surprised me how well it worked. I slept like a baby. I have all my ASMR replays are up on YouTube, and now as of the new update on Periscope today, if you update your app, you can see all over 4,000 broadcasts that I've done here on Periscope in the past over 3 years. So I'm not lying when I say that I've gone live every single day for over 3 years. Looks fluid here. All good here. Okay. Can an all-cash biz be publicly traded? I have no idea. I slept like a baby. Do you contribute to a separate IRA at all? No. Cool, what? Thank you. Hi, Austin. Just need to update. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so if you watch on YouTube, it does help me out a little bit to potentially monetize over there too. Fluid, not frozen. Okay. Ridiculous. Hi. All right. So what's our next company? We have... let me just do First Republic Bank because I feel like most of you guys probably don't care about that one. So let's just get that one over real quick. I only had 3 years of numbers on that. This was just one that Ed was interested in. But let's just see, out of curiosity, the price we came up with on this. The same name on YouTube, yes. Next Juice, N-E-X Juice, J-U-I-C-E. -$1, $6, and $2.62. But so these, you can't really see it. Maybe I can make this bigger just for your benefit, even though I know what it says, is the reasonable price and the margin of safety price. So this is technically a reasonable price. The margin of safety price is half of that because you always want to buy companies on sales. Deep discount is a great way to build in a margin of error or a margin of safety. So, we're still looking at $6. We wouldn't want to pay more than $6 for it. So let's see where this company is at right now. Oh, snap. What? $2.32. And if we look back at our margin of safety price, $2.62 was a actual true margin of safety price. So we've actually found a company that, according to the numbers that we've run, now again, I don't think I have 2019 numbers for this. I didn't pull 2019 numbers for these yet, and they might not have been put out yet, but that looks like actually a pretty good price if you were interested in this company. So hang on, don't go buy this, all right? Do you even know what this bank is? Are you interested in banking? Are you going to read all these reports about how the banking industry is working? Do you have any way of knowing if you like this bank and you think it's going to survive and thrive and recover from this extremely low stock price? You personally, I can almost guarantee, unless you're Ed listening to me just saying this right now, have no reason to buy this company. The price might be right, but the circle of competence isn't. Okay, so I led with that earlier. Only buy things within your circle of competence. My boyfriend, who very much likes this bank, he works with this bank, or he has worked with it in the past. He knows the management, he knows the owner, he thinks that they're not, I don't think personally, but he knows that he has a lot of faith and a lot of confidence in the management of this company. He likes the way it's run. He likes the way that the management thinks and their style. So this would be, right now, a pretty good buy for him if he was looking to invest and diversify his investments and to buy a company such as this and to take a risk by buying an individual company as opposed to a total market index fund, which we said was a safer investment. So I see him typing right now. He's probably very excited to see that this is $2.32. Tay told me to buy, so I love Republic Bank. Yeah, exactly. He said, damn it. Need to pull new data and reassess. Right, good find. Where are you pulling those financial CSV files? You just look up, let's see, what is the word for it? 10K form? Let me see. I have my little cheat sheet that I keep with notes about investing. Stop, I'm going to buy it. I think you probably should. Kind of broke right now, so I can help that way. Didn't you just say you were going to pay me for something? I can see the scopes before you dated your fan. Yeah, you can. Are you the same name? Yes, I answered that. Okay, I answered all that. Cryptos are also down as well, but they fluctuate a lot. Yeah, I'm personally, so cryptocurrency would be something outside of my circle of competence. If you're into it, if you're really big on it, you like to study it a lot, you're really interested in them, and you have one you really like and the price is right, go for it. However, I don't have any valuations for that, so I can't tell you if I think the price is right on that. I'd have to plug in all these numbers from as far back as I could find. Damn it. I love Republic Bank. How much should we buy? All of it. Buy the bank! Yahoo Finance has great links for that. There you go. You could use Yahoo Finance. I usually just pull it straight from the SEC website. So you would just basically look up the company and then the word annual reports, but there's a term for it too, which I'm going to find for you right now. So the annual reports, yeah, 10Ks, or the quarterly reports, which are 10Qs. So the numbers that I pull are the annual numbers. So here are this is my little cheat sheet here. So the Shiller P/E ratio, the Wilshire GDP ratio, aka the Buffett indicator, and then this is what I was just telling you that you can look up. The annual reports in 10Ks. That's where I'm pulling the numbers so I can do the valuations. But when you own a company or you're even thinking about owning a company, these are the other things that you want to study. You want to look at their quarterly reports. You want to listen to their quarterly analyst calls, which are recorded and transcribed. And there's the FCC website is called Edgar. Google the company, see what's in the news about them. The 13F filings. These are the 4 M's. This is how you determine your circle of competence. What does it mean to you? Does it have good moats? Do you like the management? And is it the margin of safety price? So, and I've talked about a lot of this on previous broadcasts. So if you guys have questions about these things, let me know and I will go into them more. But I know some of you have been following this for a while. You just want to see the numbers and maybe get to some new companies. So if you do want me to go back and talk about any of that stuff, please just let me know. So, yeah, I don't know anything about futures. I don't know if that's good or bad what you're saying right now. But so I don't know if I should say that's good or that's bad, so I don't know what to say. Okay. I'll just tell you I have no idea what that means. All right, so let's look at Apple next. Someone said, why would you want to buy Apple? All the stores are closed. You mean because of quarantine purposes? Oh, that was another thing I wanted to tell you guys. As of today, the state that I live in, New Jersey, has enacted a curfew. And I don't know if this is national yet or will become national, but in my state, all stores, everything, all businesses are forced to close at 8 p.m. tonight. That already happened because it's now like 12. Okay, no, it's 10:46 p.m. So at 8 p.m., all businesses had to shut their businesses down. from what I had originally read was that they would be able to operate again at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, that there was a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. where everyone was encouraged to stay home. No businesses are going to be open besides maybe like hospitals, maybe grocery stores. But even that, they're basically encouraging you, don't go out, don't do anything after 8 p.m. But from what I'm now gathering is that some of these businesses have been told that they will be staying closed until further notice, or they're informing that they'll stay closed until further notice until they're allowed to reopen again. Ed he had to go bring keys to a new tenant because he's a landlord. He had to bring keys to a tenant out of the house. And then on his way back, he's like, oh, maybe I'll stop and get some dinner. And he went to a place that wasn't too far from here. It's somewhat near us, and they serve food, and it's like a bar and food place. And they were playing like It's the End of the World as We Know It song. He said it was pretty packed in there. Most of the people were older people that didn't really seem to give a crap. And he talked to the owner, and the owner said that they have been told that they might not be able to reopen until July. So who knows what's going on? I'll tell you, I don't know. That's as much as I know. Will, thank you for the super hearts. I don't know if I caught that. Thank you so much. The casinos still have all their lights on. They were supposed to close at 8 p.m. Closings are in tri-state area. I own Apple, bought at $99. Nice. Not national yet. Okay. Why buy Apple when it's low? Are you trolling? Wait, let me not say it like that, because maybe you're being serious and it's like you just don't know and I can just tell you. Okay. So let's pick something. Okay, let's just pick something random. And this has my hair in it, and this is probably going to be distracting to you because my hair is in it. I'm just going to, you can see my hair on it. Let's pick something else that's not distracting you or me because of hair. All right, here is an item. It's called a Go-Go Pick. It's a suction cup device for your phone, okay? It's worth $10, okay? I'll sell it to you for $100. Do you want it? No. If this thing is worth $10 and you can have it for $100, should you buy it? I mean, if you must have it, I suppose you're going to have to. But if I tell you it's worth $10, but I'll sell it to you for $1, that's when you want to buy it. You want to get the best value for your money. You want to get the best bang for your buck. You want to pay less than something is worth. You want to buy things on sale so that you're saving your money, so that you can use that money for other reasons, because money is very powerful. Some people call them freedom units. Your money is inherently linked to the amount of freedom that you have in your life. So you can create more freedom and more power for yourself by keeping the control that you have over that money to invest it further, to make more money off of it, and not to waste it on spending it on things that aren't worth as much as you're paying for it. So that's why you would want to buy something when it was low. Economics 101. Hopefully that makes sense. And if it doesn't, just ask me whatever question you have and I'll try to answer it. I'm going to try not to be so sarcastic because I'm sorry, I really shouldn't be like that, because sometimes it's the internet, and sometimes people are trolling and you can't pick up on connotation. I use the term trolling interchangeably with teasing, so I also could, sometimes people are just teasing me also. But maybe you were serious, in which case I should not be sarcastic like that. Been watching Planet Fitness stocks. If I was looking to buy, I'd buy those in the near future. Interesting. You wouldn't buy a total market index fund? All these numbers will be skewed in a few months. What numbers? Are you talking about the numbers on my spreadsheet? Because these numbers are from last year. What do you think about Tesla? It's a little pricey, but is it profitable? I highly doubt it. S&P futures up. Okay, I already read that. Okay. What are the numbers to the left? Those are people who have supported this channel over the last 30 days. I was being facetious. You're being facetious? Okay. Bought Bitcoin Cash for $150. It was worth $500 at a point and $9,500 in the last bull run. If you know it's going to be worth $500, then yes. Okay. You can't know something's going to be worth more in the future. Okay. So you don't buy it for what you think it's going to be worth in the future. At least that's not the strategy that I'm talking about right now. That's not the strategy that I use. Buy low, sell high. Right. Someone asked that question. Right. Okay. Yes. All right. You know what you don't know. Closings are in... Okay, I got it. Yes. All right, that was what I thought at first, and then I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't assume that he's like teasing based on that. Because that's what I first thought. You were just like teasing. Like, why would I do that? Like, yeah, why would you ever want to buy something low? But then I was like, well, maybe he's serious, and I'm mocking him, making him feel like he can't learn about this. So I just wanted to answer it like basically as well. Hi, Deb. I'm waiting to invest in my 2020 Roth until the market hits bottom this year. When will that be? Cybersoar, come on, man. Seriously? Let me just, it's going to be on May 7th. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know the future, neither does anybody else. I don't know when the freaking bottom of the market is going to be. All I do is, my girl Chloe is nice looking. There you go. I think she's single. She's in Scotland. I don't know if that's close or far for you or what. Hi, Chris. Chris, it wasn't you that supported recently, right? Someone became a monthly supporter on my channel, but they didn't put their username, and I emailed them and I asked them their username, and they still haven't answered me, and I feel really bad because I want to put them in my private Periscope group, but I don't know their username. So whoever you are, email me back. Let me know if it's you. Wait, I got distracted by my girl Chloe being nice looking. So all I do is like cost averaging. So I just buy on, I think I buy on like the 23rd of every month. So I'm just going to buy on March 23rd and on April 23rd and on May 23rd. And I just like split up however much. So I can invest $6,000 into a Roth IRA in the year. So I would do $500 a month. That's how I do it. However you want to do it. I'd advise front loading your retirement accounts this year. Best version of timing the market. I don't really try to do that because I don't want to pretend I know the future, right? So I'm just cost averaging through the years. Boom, 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 boom. So that, you know, because I have 30 years until I'm going to touch this. So I have a lot of room for error, for sure. Me too. I'm from Scotland. There you go. Chase and Chloe. We're making matchmaker, make me a match. I'm buying tomorrow, probably airline and petroleum. Interesting. I thought you had a crystal ball. Isn't insider info illegal anyways? Who has an insider info into the market? I'm so anxious. Aw, Julie, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Let's go to Apple. Over to you, Apple. All right, so the price we had for Apple for the 10 cap price was $162 per share. Payback time price, $140 per share. Margin of safety price, $70 per share. So this would be the ideal price, $70. We're not going to pay more than $162. Let's see what Apple is worth today. Not worth, sorry. Let's see the price of Apple stock today. $242.21. So that one would not meet our criteria. We would not want to buy that one. And also, let's look at that. So 1 year ago. Again, 1 year ago was worth significantly less. That's 1 year ago, okay? I'm not going back that far. That's literally 1 year ago. So some people are like, the markets they're dropping. Ah, it's chaos, pandemonium. You should buy everything right now because that's a great way to time the market. Well, it was way lower than this a year ago. So who's to say it's not going to just steadily just the rest of this year? Who really knows? And there might be a major crash coming, and I just don't know the future. So I'm just going to buy my $500 a month on the same day of the month I always do and go from there. Can I check AIC? Not like that. So in order for me to create spreadsheets like this, it takes me a while. So first of all, I don't even really create a spreadsheet until I do the research that it's even a company that I'm interested in buying. The only one I did that for was the First Republic National Bank because my boyfriend was interested in that, and our finances are somewhat correlated, and I love him and I live with him and he does a lot of stuff for me, so I did it for him. Not that I don't love you and want to do stuff for you, but if every random person on the internet got to suggest a company and I would do this for them, I wouldn't ever be able to study the companies that I wanted to invest in. So I encourage you to do this on your own with your own companies that you want to study. So what you have to do is you have to go back and you have to pull all these numbers. I mean, these numbers for Apple go back to 2003. You know how long it took me to pull all these numbers in? Actually, do they go back to 2003? I don't even know if I finished pulling the numbers. Oh, I don't think it mattered. Numbers back that far don't matter. Really, the last 10 years are the numbers that I use, so I think I just stopped pulling them back that far. But you have to go and you have to pull all of these different numbers from the reports, and you have to look in multiple places, and it takes time. So I can't just like plug. It's not something that I can just go plug a company in the ticker and be like, or you mean just the price? I mean, I can do that. I can tell you whatever the price is of that. I don't know what AIC is, but Arlington Asset Investment, $16.31 per share. I don't know what that is. Buy cruise lines. I think Tesla dropped $500, but I don't know. Crazy. This is very interesting. I love this type of stuff. Thanks, Asti. I'm going to call you Asti now because that's what Berto calls you. Any good investments? The only one we found so far was First Republic Bank. But again, only if it's in your circle of competence, only if it has meaning to you and you like the management of it and, you really want it and you want to study it and own that company. And if you had enough money, you would buy the whole company. It's like, don't buy one share of a company unless you would buy all the shares of a company if you had the financial power to do so. And don't buy something for 10 minutes that you wouldn't want to own for 10 years. These kinds of concepts. These are the types of strategies. This is my style of investing. This is what I like to do, going on some books that I've read that resonate with me and the things that I like. These are values that are close to my heart. They might not be the same for you. You might want to figure out, okay, what kind of foreign currencies can I invest in and then tomorrow sell and make some money on the Forex day trading market. I don't know. We might have different values. So for me, this is like long-term stuff. Drug companies again. Yep. Tesla dropped about $220 from February 1st. Okay, good info. Thanks, Jess. Used Robinhood app at all? Yep. If you download, they give you a free share. Cool app to see prices. Yeah, they give you a free share of some crappy company that never changes in value. But so I sold that. It was like some random energy company that I know nothing about. I'm not going to track it because I own one share of it. So I just sold it and took my like $3 or whatever it was. Yeah, I do have something on Robinhood, I think. Or maybe I just signed up and got a share. I don't even remember, honestly. What do we do if we are already invested and would have to sell to reinvest? No. No! Okay, the only time that you're going to sell is if something major happens to the company. So if it no longer has good management, like if something happens to the management of the company, like right now, Twitter may be experiencing a big shift in management. I actually find that this change in management may be a good thing. It doesn't shake my foundation. It doesn't make me want to run away and flee from the company, but you might say, okay, this person that's coming in and taking over, he's a Republican billionaire and we don't share a lot of the same values, not really trust how he's going to manage this company. I want to run away from this. So maybe you would want to sell. Like for me, I've made a profit on Twitter. I could sell it. I wouldn't have lost anything and fine. Maybe it goes up, but maybe it's not a company that I still want to own. Maybe your interests change. Maybe you're like, I'm really sick of studying this lumber company and caring about wood. I can't read about another plank or board or cabinet. I'm going to go crazy, Okay, maybe it's time to sell for you, if you have made a profit, or if you just feel like it's just a loser, it's just going to lose and lose and lose, and you just have no faith in it, it doesn't have meaning to you, it's just not what you had wanted it to be. Maybe you lost money, maybe you just want to cut your losses. So there's different times to sell. What they really say in these books is that you want to sell when it's overpriced. So when the price goes over the value, you would want to sell then. It's tricky because, you always want to be like, oh, but what if it keeps going up? So like right now, I feel like Twitter actually right now at $24 isn't really like necessarily super overpriced. When it was $42, I thought it's overpriced. I could sell it, but I really just don't. It's maybe a bit emotional, but it's also, I didn't buy it based on the tenets of the book to begin with. So it's tricky. Figuring out when you should buy, I personally think is easier than trying to figure out when you should sell. If you really love a company, you basically own it forever, you own it until you don't love it anymore. Or if it just goes, like, if you're just like, this is ridiculous, like if Twitter all of a sudden was worth like, let's say like, I don't even know, I feel like I'm so attached to it, which is not the ideal way to be, but let's say it went to like $500 a share, right? I'd have to be like, this is ridiculous. Like, it is just this is just not, look at the numbers they're reporting. Now, the thing with Twitter also is that they just reported earnings, actual like a profit for the first time last year. So that to me is like they're on a positive trajectory upward, right? It's not a shift. I'm not watching these numbers progressively going down. Things aren't looking good. The industry has changed. There's no longer a need for Twitter. Twitter's outdated and old. I mean, major television networks use Twitter all the time. News companies, they have I think the best live streaming app on the market. So to me, it's not like this app is going away, and it's, you know, it's not like I'm invested in like, let's say a company that sells typewriters, right? So eventually, like when they invented the computer, you might say, this probably isn't good for this company that I own. So if there's major changes happening, you know, if you see people moving towards electric cars and you own something that's using like only diesel fuel, I don't know anything about cars. I shouldn't have used that as an example. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's certain times that you would want to sell. You certainly wouldn't want to sell because you wanted to buy something else. I wouldn't think, unless for some reason you just don't want to own that thing anymore. You've made money off of it and you want to move it somewhere else. Maybe, you know, it seems a little risky to me. Also, you pay usually for every trade that you make. So, I don't know. Use your best judgment. I can't make that call for you. What if we're lazy and just want to buy and sell? If we're lazy and just want to buy and sell, then do that, I guess. I mean, you're probably not going to have a lot of wealth in your future if you're lazy, regardless of what you do. Probably don't invest if you're lazy. Do you believe in mutual funds? I mean, if you're lazy, you probably don't even have money to invest because you don't work, right? I don't understand the question. I don't know. What is lazy? Do you believe in mutual funds or managed accounts? I talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm invested in an ETF, so it's called VTI, the Vanguard Total Market Index Fund. ETFs, mutual funds, very similar, but I think ETFs typically have a lower management fee that you pay, which is for VTI is 0.3%. The book that I read that I loved by Grant Sabatier called Financial Freedom says don't pay more than 0.3% for fees for anything that you own if you can help it. So, and as long as it meets that criteria, I guess it doesn't really matter what it is. You'll get a $4 company. Buy high, sell low. No, don't listen to him. Depends on the companies you're invested in. Dividends, etc. Yep, dividends come into play too. Good point. I didn't mention that because I don't own companies with dividends. Did Robinhood ask you for a photo of your driver's license and photo of your social security number card? Not my social security card, but maybe my license. I'm not sure. If you are going to sell and immediately buy another underpriced company, is that okay? See, what I don't understand, it almost sounds like you have no money, right? So why wouldn't you just continue owning the company that is also a good company and then buy something else? If you have to sell this to buy this, you probably shouldn't be investing in the first place. You're living paycheck to paycheck. What's going on? You have no new income coming in? You have no cash flow? Like, what's up with your money? Where's your money at? Like, why don't you have money to buy something else? That would be a concern for me. If you're like, I can only buy this if I sell this, then you shouldn't do anything. You should just chill and figure out how to make some money. And then when you have that money, then you can, you know, make smart decisions with it then. But you have to pull on the other lever, right? I talked about those 3 levers. So you have your expenses lever, you have your cash flow income lever, and you have your investing lever. So right now I'm talking about pulling on the investing lever, but if you are trying to pull on it and it's not moving because you don't have any money, then you have to go over here and adjust your expenses lever and decrease your expenses and increase your money coming in. Hopefully both. And then take that money and then you can go and play back with this lever again. How do I start investing? I have no idea where to start. Mike, how much money do you have to invest right now? If I had done that, I would have missed out on thousands of profits on Apple and Amazon. If you had done what? Sorry, I wish I was reading comments in real time. I'm sure you do too. CV stocks have been super hot lately. I don't know what that is. Quarantine. Yes, Simon, let's all hang out on Periscope. Starters. I would recommend starting a Roth account, choosing 3 mutual funds and some bonds. Cybersaur, you're not even going to ask him like if he has any money first. You're just like, go buy stuff. You have no money, use a credit card. Let's all take a deep breath. and not just like invest because that's what you're supposed to do. That's like having kids and getting married because that's what everyone's doing. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what your mom and dad said you should do. Let's all just like assess the individual situation before giving a blanket generic response. I can't find on my phone how to update this app. Bigos, do you have an Android or an Apple? Buy oil stocks. There are recommendations for allocation limits over different sectors. Are you saying buy oil stocks because of what's going on in Saudi right now? Because wouldn't that decrease the price? Wouldn't that be a bad time to buy it? You put a laughing emoji. Maybe you were joking? Still at it. Brian, I said I would be willing to do this for 3 hours, and I haven't even started looking into Google, so I'm in it for the long haul right now. There are recommendations for allocation limits over different sectors. I'm sure there are. Hey, Charles. Actually, trades are now free. Trade fees have been pretty much eliminated. By what brokerages? Hi, Charles. Also remember taxes, too. Well, yeah, of course. Of course. That is really like if you are really at that point where you're really like, first of all, I mean, I'm obviously not going to recommend you buy any company, but there's really nothing that I've said that should be making you go buy a company right now. I haven't showed you how to do any of the pricing or anything like that. Maybe you watch some of my replays, maybe you're like, okay, but if you watch those replays, then we talked about brokerages and we talked about fees and we talked about taxes and we talked about different instruments of investing. So like I said, I use a Roth IRA, which means that I pay my income tax now and on that money, so I don't pay any taxes as long as I don't take it early. You know, you have to wait until you're at least 59 and a half years old. If you buy it and you're already at that age or close to that age, I believe you have to own it for 5 years before you can touch it. So for me, I'm 29, so I don't have to worry about the 5-year rule. I'm going to have it till I'm 59 and a half, then I can cash it out at that point if I want. In a perfect world, I won't even have to touch that because I'll have figured out all sorts of other ways to have awesome amounts of money, and I can just continue to let that go as I grow old and create generational wealth for my stepsons and my niece and my nephew and the whole world, okay? Philanthropy, whatever. All right, so there's no tax on a Roth IRA. Once I do, as long as I make it to 59 and a half before I touch it, I don't pay any tax on it. I don't pay, no matter what returns I've made, there's no tax. That's why IRAs are popular. A traditional IRA is, I believe, the opposite. I believe you don't pay, maybe it's the same. I'm not sure. I know there's at least one instrument. Now, again, I only do the Roth IRA, so again, pragmatic. I know what I need to know for my own purposes. So I don't know all the other ones off the top of my head, but I would certainly not invest in one until I had researched it and found out the exact answers. Okay, so figure it out before you go do it yourself. So if it's I think 401ks, I think traditional IRAs, if I'm not wrong, there's some instruments where you don't pay, it's income tax money, so you don't have to pay income tax. You put it in, you invest it now, so you don't pay tax now, but then you do have to pay tax on the return when you cash it out, if I'm not mistaken. My philosophy: work smarter, not harder. You said you were lazy, not smart. Those are really not two things that go hand in hand. Because if you're smart, you spend quite a lot of energy on learning and thinking. Lazy trader. Eliminated. I knew what you meant. Chris Grass. Some people have all their money in the market already and are trying to reduce loss currently. That's why he wants to sell. Maybe. So, I wish that I had talked to you before you went and put all of your money in the market. I spend my money on drip, though. Drip, drip. So you have VTFs instead of ETFs? No, I have ETFs. Do you use only Vanguard? Dan, sorry. Do I use only Vanguard? Do I use Vanguard? I mean, I'm invested in Vanguard's ETF called VTI. I also own Twitter separately from that, and I have other, some gold mining stocks and stuff that my ex got me into that are failing miserably. I'm quarantined like a motherfucker. I have $40 to invest. Where should I put it towards? Midnight. You have $40 to invest? How about you go buy these 3 books? That's probably about $40 there, roughly. It might not even be $40. It might be like $30. There you go. That's what you should invest in. Invest in your education, because you should not be even looking at stocks if all you have is $40 to invest. $40 is a weirdly specific number, too. How much do you have saved? Why do you just have $40 to invest? You can invest with a credit card? I don't know. I would never have looked into that to know. It was a joke, but also please don't do that. It was a joke. Like, it was supposed to be obviously sarcastic. Do not, I don't know if you can or not, but don't. Even if you can, do not do that. That would be a horrible, horrible mistake. You can invest on margin. So I don't know exactly how it works, but my ex did that, and it was a hard lesson learned for him. How much is the minimum? $1,000, okay? There's not really like a hard and fast minimum for you, right? So, I mean, what are your goals, right? So what number do you need to be at to be financially free? How old are you? What's your income? What are your expenses? What are your savings? There's so much to this, you know, in terms of like, you know, I was listening to a Dave Ramsey podcast earlier, and I was listening to this guy, and he was like, I have $100,000 left over from all this inheritance money that I got. He's like, I paid off this, that, and I have $100,000 left, and I'm trying to figure out what I should do with this $100,000. Like, that's somebody who has money to invest. Like, absolutely. Now, you don't need that much money to start investing. Like I said, a Roth IRA, I put $6,000 into it per year. Okay, it's not a ton of money, you know, but it's also like, if you're saying like, is $1,000 okay? Like, you might be ready, but you probably haven't learned enough to pull the trigger yet. Like, you really have to figure it out, because you have to care about your money more than anybody else does. So you can't expect the company that you invest in, or the, especially if someone said hire a financial advisor, or, you know, fund manager, or whatever, like robo-advisors, you know, whoever you're paying is not going to care as much about you making money as you are. You should care more than anyone, which means you should be willing to put a lot of time and energy and effort into studying this stuff first to figure out exactly what you want to invest in. Then you can see how much it is and see if that seems reasonable for your financial situation. So it might be $1,000 for you, but what are you going to invest it in? Not just like what stocks, but what instrument. Like I said, like, is it going to be a Roth IRA? Do you have a 401k plan through your employer? 401ks are awesome for employees. I'm not an employee, so I don't have that option, but if you are a full-time employee and you have access to a 401k, that means that your employer, the company you work for, is matching some certain amount. It might not be dollar for dollar, but every dollar you put in, they put in money for you. That's free money. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Like, you know, that's something you should most certainly be taking advantage of, depending on, you know, as long as you're not too limited in what you can invest in within that 401k, but it really is going to depend. Almost all brokers are now zero trade fees. I'm hungry again. Don't eat unless you are trying to gain weight. Roth is super smart. Traditional IRAs only make sense if you're trying to avoid tax brackets. Yeah, so have you heard of the backdoor IRA? I was just reading about this the other day. It's not something that applies to me, unfortunately. I don't make quite that much money, but you like start a traditional IRA, which doesn't have a limit on how much you can put in, and then you like convert it to a Roth IRA. And that's like a way to increase, it's a way to get into a Roth IRA you can only convert the $6,000, but you convert it to a Roth IRA after the fact. It's like called a backdoor. I don't know if it's legit or what, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Make you pay taxes later after your money multiplied. They suck. Yeah, okay. So I was right about that. I have a 401k, and I let someone control it for me. Is that good? No, but yes. I answered that backwards. Yes, it's good you have a 401k. Is it good that someone else is controlling it for you? No, you should be in control of it. You should be well aware. So ask for all the information that you can get. You're not alone. Most people fall into this category. They say to me, you know, oh, I have a 401k. I have no idea what it's invested in. I'm just trusting someone else with my money. Well, that person doesn't care about your money. They care about their money. They care about how can they get more money. You know, hopefully. They might not even care about that, which would be even worse. If they don't even care about their own money, they're definitely not the right person to be in charge of your money. The right person to be in charge of your money is you, in my opinion. So figure out what are the options that you can invest in. What are you currently invested in? Why? Who's that person that's controlling all this stuff? They probably speak the language. They probably know a lot. Learn from them. Talk to them. Become friends with them. I heard something interesting earlier today that the top 10 people that you hang out with and spend time with, your median income will be roughly about the same. So if you hang out with a bunch of people who make a lot more money than you, your money will theoretically move in that direction. If you hang out with a bunch of people that make less money than you, it'll move down. If you hang out with a bunch of people about the same pay grade as you, you'll stay where you're at. So, or you guys will move progressively, together. So that's good news for me, because I like to surround myself with people who make a lot more money than me. Why can't you be lazy and smart? I'm not reaching my maximum potential, but I'm also not overexerting. I read this book, The Untethered Soul, and it talks about infinite energy, and I've been feeling that, it's obviously not infinite, but you could probably use a lot more energy than you are using. But also, Mike, I feel like this conversation is not really worth it. If you want to be lazy, then be lazy. I don't care. Hell no, I'd rather invest my $40 on some hose, not books. Okay, well then do that. It's not an investment. I would like to chime in. Norwegian Cruise Lines are a really great stock to invest in right now. Agree or disagree? I know what I know. Look at their history. That's fine. Yeah. If you're into it, go do it. I don't care. One put $5,000 a year on my 401k, and all the comments disappeared. Water break. All right. What's the next one we're gonna look up? Oh, here we go. And someone controlling it for me, but I want to buy some other stocks. You can direct the money in your 401k usually. So what you want to buy in that 401k, you can probably buy right within that. And then your company is also helping you buy even more of them, which is great. $6,000 is a lot of money when you only make $21,000. Yeah, absolutely. So again, you might want to pull on your income or expense lever. You got to max out your employer 401k matching. It's basically 200% interest right off the bat. I did that. Do you have to give back the tax break? What do you mean, Superman? Do you have to give back the tax break? What do you mean? I did a conversion with an employer IRA. Backdoor IRAs work. Wow, interesting. It can get messy though. Yeah, if backdoor Roths interest you, look into a SEP IRA too. I think that's in that book too. So if I hang with some broke people, I'll be broke too. I'm gonna stop hanging with my friends. You just post a bunch of pictures of cash. Can a person periodically do a Roth conversion with an employer 401k or only after you leave? I have no idea. I haven't been an employee in a while, and I was not investing when I was. Making $150,000 working 20 hours per week. Awesome. That's great. Wonderful. So then maybe, Mike, if I was you and I didn't want to do any research myself, but I wanted to invest in, just invest in the total market index fund. There you go. Boom. Invest in VTI, maybe. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do what I say. Do whatever you want to do. That's what I would do if I were you. What are you saying, Hayden? No, what? They broke, though. Then yeah, stop hanging out with them. Okay, don't stop hanging out with them completely, but cut back the amount that you hang out with them. Hang out with other people more than them. Hang out with them like once a week. Most employers now offer a Roth IRA option. Interesting, really? But if your company matches, that has to be traditional. Okay, I'm holding you liable. No! What is the crawler? Well, actually, that might be okay. How old are you, Mike? I mean, if you're like 59, it might not be the best option for you. What is the crawler? The crawler? What is that? Hayden, thank you for the super hearts. Don't stop sending me super hearts while you're pooping. Buy 80% index funds and 20% government bonds. Yeah, so that's a lot. That type of strategy is talked about a lot in Financial Freedom. I have a 2.9% savings interest rate on my savings account, so I just basically use that savings account instead of buying like low risk bonds. If you're trying to invest in cryptocurrency... Wait, is that the guy that said he was lazy? Wait, no, that was... No, Mike Beebe. Mike Beebe is the lazy one, right? I'm pretty sure. You guys need pictures so I can differentiate you from each other. Okay, we got Killa Mike, who's brown. And we have Mike Beebe, who's brown. And neither of them have pictures. Killa Mike, I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. We can't send super hearts while pooping. I'm going to need a big refund check. Investments, here I come. Where do you get 2.9% in savings? On a savings account, what bank is that? I'm afraid to say. I feel like it's a bad idea to tell people what bank you use. So there are multiple banks that do this. Ask your bank if they have an option like that. In my bank, I have to put a certain amount of money into that savings account to get that interest rate. It's not a credit union, I'll tell you that much. It's a major bank that you could probably get. But I'm afraid to say, just because I'm afraid of, like, I don't know, weird doxing or something. Give us a list. Let's Google it. And remember, you guys have access to Google it yourselves as well. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I know, Hayden. Hi. You're getting 0.01%. That's what I was getting too, yeah. Let's see what this online banks versus brick and mortar banks. I wouldn't use an online bank. Ranked. These are supposed to be ranked. Okay. All right, so this website, this is not me. This is just this website. So I don't know if my bank is on this list or not, but just what did that take me? 10 seconds to Google this? Don't panic, Blue Hundos. So Synchrony Bank, this is 2.2%. CIT Savings Builder, I've not heard of that before. Ally Online Savings, this is what Brent was talking about earlier. I thought this was 2.9. Interesting, 2.2. Yeah, I get 2.9%, but still, 2.2 is not bad either. I thought it was 2.9% last time I checked it. What is this? When's this article from? February 25th. Interesting. Last time I looked at this, I think it was like September, so maybe things have changed a little bit with the changes with the virus, but not too bad. Alliant, I've heard of that. I'm pretty sure I looked into that. That's 2.1%. Discover Savings Account, interesting, 2.1%. Capital One 360 Savings, that's only 1%. Let's not even look at that. Barclay, 2.2%. American Express Personal Savings, 2.1%. Marcus Online, 2.25%. That's the highest one we've seen so far. Minimum balance requirement, $1. I don't know what Marcus Online Savings Account, though, is. Goldman Sachs. I'm not sure about that. So let me see. Hey, Bibor. Let me see. Ally was at 2.3% like a month ago, 1.6% now. No minimum balances. Interesting. Yeah. So I'm trying to think when I converted my savings account. So basically what happened was I had a bunch of money in my bank account, my checking account. And I had a savings account. It was like, you said, like 0.01%. And they said, oh, like we have this offer where if you keep a certain amount of money in your savings account, you can earn 2.9% interest on it. So I said, yes, please. I already have the money in there. I don't plan on spending it. So they gave that to me. Why? I'm not exactly sure why. Just to ensure that I didn't move money to a different bank or something. I'm not sure, but I was very happy that she told me about it. It'll go even lower, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Gary, for the super hearts. How are you, Bibor? Capital One Success. Things change for sure. Okay, I already read that. How much money we talking here? I don't know if I should answer that question. I don't. Talk to your bank. See what your bank can do for you. Now is probably not a great time to try to negotiate a better interest rate from your bank. Definitely not a time to be throwing money in savings. Don't answer it, Brent. Brent knows the answer to both of the questions that I've avoided so far. How much do you really need by the time you're retired? That's an excellent question that I can absolutely answer. So, except maybe not for myself, because I actually have been a bad girl and not checked my expenses over the year of 2019. So I probably should do that. Let's put that in the calendar. And then I can tell you my exact number. But I can tell you a rough number. Dude, we all got nipples, all right? We do not all have money. I'll tell you that much right now. So, I'm smart. What can I say? I'm smart and I have nipples. Does that offend you? Do my nipples offend you? Twitter stock gonna be your Bitcoin? Maybe. Yeah, Gary actually gave me the heads up on that potential hostile takeover happening on on Twitter. I'm over here now, like, putting things in my calendar. I need $50 million when I retire at least. I'm smart and I'm lazy. Does that offend you? No. Smart and nipples. Whoa, you're the whole package. Go ahead. Hi, Laura. Ooh, you guys are funny. All right. I swear to God, every time Laura comes in, we're talking about something weird. She's like, hi, everyone. Leaves immediately. Okay, this is already too much. Did you come into the when we were talking about the online? Oh, that was Victoria. Victoria comes in. Brent's like, you don't want to be in here. It's getting really weird. Taylor's trying to find me an online bride right now. That was in the private Periscope group. We were looking at online brides from Colombia, because why not? You are the beneficiary of sports being canceled. I am liking this. Is it a good time to buy a house with the market crashing? Buy a house to live in or as an investment property? Okay, the box of rocks. Wait, let me check my grades on that. No, let me put this in. Okay, so calculates expenses from 2019 and determine retirement number. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to put that for Thursday, which is the day before I plan to do my taxes. Housing market, still high. Interest rates are low. Interest rates being low is good for loans, potentially, if they're passing it on to the customers. But, you mean it's making you fall asleep or it's calming? Because I feel like it probably makes a lot of people fall asleep. But yeah, if the prices are still high, it might be hard to find a good value. I think it's maybe I should just keep saying a good price. I think it's a good time to buy a house. The prices are a little high, but rates are low. It seems like we're all kind of saying the same thing here. All right, that's good. I like when we're in agreement. Kumbaya, Periscope. Wait, Kumbaya, Twitter. Kumbaya. The answer is yes. It's not, I don't have to be one or the other. I am all of these things. Kumbaya, Mike B. Brent also said yes. I told you we're in harmony. Hello, Bonnie. Why am I crying? What the heck's happening right now? Whew. Alright, I have feelings when we're in harmony. No, really, why am I crying? Alright. Why do I look like that? Is my face getting progressively more red? It's just so beautiful. Oh, being a girl is weird. Is it a good time to buy stocks with present market? You got here too late. Come on. Why am I singing Kumbaya? Because we were all on the same page. We were all agreeing. So we were Kumbaya, right? Isn't that what Kumbaya means? Like harmony? Buying a house is also an investment. Absolutely. We talked about that in the beginning. I was thinking about buying a pizza shop in New York for a year now. Really? Interesting. To launder your money through? I mean, what? Wash your money? I don't even know the proper term. Unk! What's up? Coronavirus brings people together. Can I invest in nextjuice.com? You cannot. I mean, you can send money, but there's no return on your investment in terms of cash. There's a return on your investment in terms of information and positivity and juice. Indeed it is. Yeah, Chloe gets me. She's like, yeah, I randomly cry for no reason too. We don't really know what's going on with that. Thank you for the super hearts. Love you. A pizza shop. Is he a drug dealer? Yes. Midnight's like, what the? He will not admit it, but I have decided that he is. Can you explain what it is? This channel? It's a connected group of people who value positivity. So I was thinking about this the other day and kind of like what the energy is on this channel. So I feel like we're down to earth. So I think when I say positivity, sometimes people think we're like, idealistic, head in the clouds, energy of the stars and the universe and law of attraction. And I'm sure there's elements of that, Positivity, I believe, is kind of like the higher power that I believe in, right? I'm agnostic. But we're down to earth too. We're realistic, right? The coronavirus is killing people, right? We're not like, oh, just think positive, happy thoughts and you'll be okay. Like, you know, also wash your hands and realize that I'm not always going to be in a great mood. Sometimes I'm going to be a little cocky, I'm going to be a little arrogant. You dig? All those people are sending you money? Yes. Kumbaya. Why am I still singing that? It's stuck in my head now. All right. So, what did I say? Okay, so I put that in my calendar because I wanted to answer your question. Was it Killer Mike that asked? So, amount that you would need to have to be considered financially free and retired. So the reason I don't love the word retired is because you retire to bed, right? So retiring means that you stop working, right? Softer leaves more dingleberries. Jimmy, what does that mean? Wait, was that back when we were talking about toilet paper? I forgot that I wasn't reading the YouTube comments. So the general rule of thumb is to take your yearly expenses. I forgot about the retirement thing. It's okay. Take your yearly expenses, how much you spend throughout an entire year, and multiply that by 25. So that's when you're financially free. That's a word I prefer to retired, because typically when you're financially free, you probably, hopefully, still have energy to work. You might have passive cash flow coming in, maybe from investments, maybe from businesses that you own that you don't spend a ton of work doing, maybe like subscription business or a drop shipping business, something that's more passive income. So retiring, I don't love because it indicates like you stop working, you stop being productive, you know, you like kind of not give up, but like, I don't love the term. But yeah, so retiring, becoming financially free. Take your expenses for a year, multiply by 25. Now, going back to whether or not I'm smarter, not smaller. I'm definitely not smaller than the box of rocks. But am I smarter? Let me check my grade on that assignment. Monthly cost times 25. Well, that if you want to see how much you should be spending in a month, that's like if you're going to retire in 2 years. And you're like going to basically die in 2 years, I mean. I like beer. Is it going away? I don't think so. If we have negative 20% return, I think it turns into the rule of 250. Negative 20% return? What's happening right now? What do you mean? All right, earth science. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. What? Don't say that. What do you mean? Mike, why are you gonna troll me like this? My website's broken. You're broken. No, I'm just kidding. You're not broken. I appreciate that. Why is it broken? It's working for me. Here it is, Mike. Here it is. Save the day, Mike. Click this button. $5,000 a month. Wait, what? The YouTube link isn't working. What? What do you mean? Why you no work? This up here? Let's try it. Wait, I'm afraid of what's going to come up. Hang on, let me check it without you guys looking in case some weird page comes up. Worked for me. Let's talk investments and company valuations. Dan. Gary has enough beer and whiskey for the entire planet in his country. You need to update the mobile version. What are you talking about? Backing up. Back up. Back it up. Okay, you can also click through here, the contact page. YouTube. Testing all the links. There it is. Okay. Hey, this still says femyoga.com. What the hell? Okay, let's fix that. Guys, I shouldn't be fixing my freaking website right now. Why are you going to bring this stuff to my attention when I'm live? Besties! Oh, I love you! We are besties, actually. Sorry, everyone else who thought you were my bestie. Create post? What, can you do like blog posts on YouTube now? I don't know anything about YouTube, let's be real. I didn't even know that I had my old website up there. I've had this new website for over a year. How do I invest in a haircut person like Midnight? Just give them your money. I'm sure it'll pay off. Someone help me. How do I do this? Channel. Customize channel? This. Yes, this. Edit links. Yes. This. I can't believe it still says Vimeo. I mean, I still own that domain and it'll still bring you to Next Juice, but still, like, what the hell? I will shave anyone. There you go. We got competition for business inquiries. Oh, that's where those people found me. I was wondering why they were emailing my old Fem Yoga account. I'm like, where did they even get that from? There we go. That's Next Juice now. Oh my god, this all is wrong. This is all wrong. Mike, you're my favorite person right now. I was going to say you're my best friend right now, but I don't think Dan would like that considering I just gave him the title. Oh my god, all of these links were wrong. Wait, do you mean my links on my YouTube page? Because those were all definitely wrong. Wait, I don't know my TikTok link. Wait, it's on my website. Guys, this is not what we're supposed to do when we're talking about investing. We're never going to get to Google. TikTok. I don't even post stuff on TikTok. Copy link address. I just feel like you're supposed to have one. God, I'm doing the things I tell people not to do. Don't forget to send me money. You, Mike? What's your Cash App? Chip, thank you for the super hearts. Did that work? How much you make a week with those donations? These are the last 30 days, so I don't know, divided by 4. $250. Do you mean Alphabet or Google? Alphabet, but their ticker is GOOGL, I believe. Yeah, GOOGL. We more commonly known as Google. But yeah, Alphabet. You got it, girl. I have Venmo. $7 should be sufficient. Okay, I can't Venmo you on my computer. I'd have to do it. Wait, you didn't even put your Venmo link. And I scratched my pinky. So that's $6 now. Because that's your fault. Alright. It doesn't seem to change anything. I put done. Done. Update. Update my list. Alright, everybody put your Cash App in. There's mine. Oh, funny. Alright, I don't think that worked at all. Why doesn't YouTube... See, if YouTube was easier to use, I would be better at using it. This is why Periscope is awesome, because it's so much more user-friendly. PLNT. Without my fancy numbers, what do I think? I don't think anything. I need my numbers. It's $38.80. It doesn't seem good, but I don't know anything. I need $500 to get some toilet paper. I'll pay you back on the 32nd. Wow. Nice try. We don't have Cash App here. We're still back in the Stone Age. Freaking midnight. It still says Fem Yoga. I tried to update it, you guys. I literally just updated all my links. I probably did that before and thought it worked and it just never did. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Now I have to put this in my calendar. You guys are giving me a lot of work to do right now. Update YouTube links. Didn't work Monday night. Thank you. Dan, did I miss something? It takes up to 48 hours to update. Oh, really? I know it's not your Cash App. Are you kidding me right now? What's my Venmo? My Venmo is at Next Juice. Yes, nice, Dan. Thank you. I went to... I thought he sent me $6. He requested $6. Essential information minus scratch pinky. Dan, thank you for the super hearts. Are we over 25,000? I feel like we were maybe already over 25,000. I wasn't paying attention. Thank you for the super hearts. Oh, this shirt always rides up. I'm constantly pulling it down. All right. If you don't know what just happened, ask Dan. He knows things. It's his fault. It's his fault in multiple ways. There you go, Mike. Just reach through, grab it. I got a little extra money here for you. Okay. Oh wait, I can't see any of the comments because there's 20 covering my phone. It's a good problem to have. All right. Okay. Am I sweating? I might be. Yes, exactly. Yes. We are quarantine friendly. If you get lonely, if you get bored, if you start to feel panicky, come in here. We'll be here. You got $6? That was good. Perfect. So we're good now. You can go ahead and remove your request. If only this live was 3D, I would have caught those 20s like Randy Moss. If only I knew who Randy Moss was. Making it rain. Hey, that's my move. I send the bills. What? I got a reminder. Why are you sending a reminder? Can I pay you with toilet paper or Purell? Either one. Sure. I went to Walmart today. It felt apocalyptic. I know. I put on my Instagram story. We went to the grocery store the other day. It was really kind of creepy. Oh, crap. Did I lose all my... No, it's over here. Okay. What was I saying? Everything was empty, but... Wait, why did you mute that guy? Why'd that guy get muted? Randy Moss is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Thank you. We're good at this. Been practicing for 3 years. Yes, we are. Thank you. Dan, I love you so much. What was I going to say? Why can't I remember? Oh, my P.O. Box address is on the link in my profile. Click contact. Okay. Now, let me go back to my website. Go to the mobile version. I touch money, go wash my hands. This money has been in my house for 3 years. I don't know, Mike. I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's see. Customize. Mobile? Okay, mobile. Wait, am I normally able to click stuff here? Oh my god. Why is nothing clickable? Wait, no, I think it is clickable. I just can't click it when I'm in customize. Can I? Okay, now I gotta go here. That money's been around since long before Corona. That's true. Hi, Katie. I'm so happy that cannon's still working. I know, one of them died, but we still have one left. I worry about the strippers. They're gonna get pretty hungry. What do you mean hungry? I don't understand. All right. Let's go to the website. Next juice. YouTube. Works fine for me. There I am, live with 1.32k subscribers. I don't know why it's not working for you. I feel like maybe you're just trolling. Okay. Anyway, back to the comment. $200 in pennies? What's happening? I invited several over for breakfast. That was very kind of you, Chip. Always thinking of others. E-learning. Oh my god, wait. I have that meeting. Okay, that's not till Wednesday. I'll have to reach out to her tomorrow. She hasn't reached out to me yet? Wait, let's check my email. Guys, we're supposed to be talking about Google. Coronavirus update. Interesting. Interesting. Did you see that phone companies are offering unlimited data? Sprint, T-Mobile, Metro PCS, AT&T, and Comcast. 2 free months to new Internet Essentials customers. Can we please talk about Google? Ah, the caps. The caps are so real right now. But I gotta see if I'm smarter than a box of rocks. I must do this. Yeah, that. No one wants our fake meat until... I noticed that, Katie, the organic food aisle was fully stocked. It was no problem. It was like all the organic food. Nobody wants that. Hi, King. There was plenty of milk and everything. Is it 5G? Probably not. I'm much calmer now, better? Yeah, thank you. I shot off the cash cannon. It was helpful. Okay, my grades. Rock Lab. Is that what it was? Rock Lab. No, I don't think it was that. I think that was the one where Dan came in when we were doing the Rock Lab online. It was... I'm surprised Dan didn't block me after that. Mineral Lab, that's what it is. Oh, it has not been graded yet. We don't know if I'm smarter than a box of rocks yet. All right. So we looked at Apple. What's the next one we're looking at? I'm doing good, King. How are you doing? You have to go to the bank? Okay. What do you have to go to the bank for? I almost never go to the bank. You can just take a picture of your check and like, boom, they have it. Okay, Amazon. Amazon's up next. Mineral Lab seemed difficult. I feel like I made it seem more difficult than it was. I see you don't pay your debts. Mike, I am live right now. I told you. I will pay you. I actually probably won't pay you. If I pay you, it will be after this broadcast. How about that? I have no debt. All right. So Amazon, $282 is the 10 cap price. $776 is the payback time price. That is, wow, okay. And $110 for margin of safety price. So I guess apparently we're not going to spend, that seems like kind of an outlier. We're probably going to try to maybe stick around this number, 282. Let's see what we got. These numbers are all over the place, which makes it seem a little bit volatile to me. $1,689.15. So even if we look at this price, $776, we still got nothing. Yeah, which makes sense, yeah, because, oops, sorry, 1 year. It's actually doing, compared to those other companies, it's actually lower than it was a year ago, which is surprising because you think Amazon would be like our hero right now. You mean off the charts badly? You'll pay me in cheeseburgers on Tuesday? Oh my god, let's go. Except all the freaking, wait, aren't you at work on Tuesday? All the restaurants are going to be closed. If you pay me, I'm going to pay you. What is the point of that? There was plenty of vegan food in the stores and I was smiling grocery shopping. Oh, yes, that's awesome. That's what Katie was just saying. Remember in 3rd grade you borrowed milk money from me for a year? I do not remember that because I don't like milk. Gotcha! I didn't like milk when I was in 3rd grade. I don't like milk now. Amazon suffers from the curse of popular opinion. So weird. So weird because the other companies... Can you guys see me right now? Oh my god, wait. Let me do that again. Hang on. Okay. I thought you could see me that whole time. That's 5 years. That's 5 years. So it's up really high from 5 years ago. But 1 year ago, that's interesting because that's the first company that was actually down from where it was a year ago. Oh my god, Dan, that is crazy. Don't get me started. That is so crazy. That was vulgar. Yeah, it was. Futures are... Futures. I don't know what futures are. The future. The future. That's what it makes me think of. That Jay-Z song. Yep. Okay, stop. I don't know even. Okay. Twitter. That's the last one we'll look at. My little baby, which I did not follow any of the proper rules on. This is my baby. We're going to look at it now together. Oh, look how cute it is, little baby. So we have $12, 10 cap price, $15 payback time price, and margin of safety price $11. I already know it's $24. I checked it earlier. If you guys want to check it now, we will. But it's $24. There it is, $24.04. So we don't want to buy more of that right now either. Also, I have to put new numbers in for 2019, which I put in my... Did I put that in my calendar? I think I did. Guess what we can do now? Guess what we can look at now, Dan? Guess what? Oh, let me make that red. Meow. No, I don't think I did. Update stock sheets with 2019 numbers. the words. Mail order brides? Are they publicly traded? I got a pedicure today just like Ed, but I needed the... So many times you almost make me say inappropriate things out loud. It's not appropriate. I'm registering for fall classes on Wednesday. I'm getting a headache. Alright, you know what we're looking at now? Are you guys excited or are you not excited? Because I'm excited. I feel like for this one we should use the Microsoft spreadsheet. Because I think that one went back. Was that the one that went back to 2003? Would I join? I've never joined one before. What would you be offering? Oh, this one went all the way back to 2003. See, this is when I was stupid and was like pulling numbers that I didn't need. So, what was the other company that I did that on? I think it was Amazon. I think that one was the one where I wisened up a little bit. No. I'm yelling at myself. Ford will be a good buy at $5. Ford? If it's in your circle of competence and you like the numbers, do it to it. What? Why does Amazon only go back to 2013? Was I getting lazy? What happened here? I guess it was Apple then. Did Amazon go public in 2013? How old are we? Now I want to look that up. Whoa! Okay. When did Amazon go public? 1997? The fuck? I do not have investments in Purell, no. Alright. Okay. Well, Apple is the one where I went back to 2009, so we're just gonna go with this one. Alright, so here's how I do it. Boop. Can you guys see it? Hi, machinist, how are you? Oops. Okay. So, file. Make a copy. I'm going to call it Alphabet. Oops. Google. Actually, maybe I'll call it Alphabet/Google, depending on what I look for. Okay. I'll close Apple, and then we're going to take these numbers, and we're going to delete them. We're going to take these numbers and delete them. I'm sure this is definitely the most efficient way to do this. Delete. So I'm going to break my own rule here because I love Dan on Fleek, and I don't want him to get mad at me going and researching all the management and moat and everything of Google. I think most of us can pretty much agree that they have a pretty solid brand moat. What are the other moats? It doesn't matter. We're just going to pull the numbers. This is breaking my own rules. I said I would do it for Ed. I definitely do it for Dan. So, you know, some of you randos, I know I said I wouldn't do it for you. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm supposed to delete all these. Yes. Delete. 12 squares for $60. You are a mightiest of troll. Alright. Delete. Here we go. You're talking like a drug dealer right now. Alright, so we've deleted that. We're going to go here. We're going to delete this. And this. And this. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for the super hearts, my dear. This. Delete. Yes. Oh, and then this we're going to edit. Let's just leave it at ×1 right now, because then we'll know something's wrong. I'm picking my nose. You can see that, can't you? No, you can't. Okay, good. I didn't need to say it out loud. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't touch my computer. It might be infected. All right. We're in the second hour of the broadcast. How are you guys doing? Did you get some coffee? I noticed we lost Dave Man, who said he was going to get coffee, but I do not think that he did. Are you guys comfortable? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Here we go. Brent, are you still here? No, we lost Brent too. Oh well, here we go. It was Brent's idea to do this broadcast. He couldn't hang for 2 hours to make this out. Wait, don't look at my Google Calendar. What are you guys doing? Okay. Okay. Google Annual Report 2019. Okay, so let me show you the results. Because this is so much better, Mike. You can't talk to those people on cable, and they're not talking about this. All right, so you can go to this page, the Alphabet Investor Relations page, with all the stuff that they put out here, and you'll probably find what you're looking for, like the 10K here. It doesn't really say what year. Oh yeah, it does say 2019. You know, you can pull this from here, and it's going to be pretty much the same thing that you get if you go right to the SEC's website, which is here, the Edgar. I kind of like to use the SEC website because it's consistent. So if we go to, I don't know, let's try HTML. Okay, that's actually the same. Twitter's has like a pretty little Twitter cover page, and I wonder if their PDF does. Wait, I don't want to download this big ass PDF. Screw that. All right. So it's actually the same for Google. So whatever works for you, it's going to be the same. You're getting the same thing. All right. I just like to use the SEC. Oh, it looks like it's actually just linking you right to the SEC website, and that's why. All right. Not all companies are like that. All companies are a little bit different. So you can read through all this stuff and learn all these things, which really you should do first, but Dan is here, so we're just going to go for it. Loxy, you obviously don't know what you're talking about. And also, wait, can you guys see it? Yeah, you can see it. What's hot mess about this? This is fucking beautiful. Yeah, no appreciation for annual reports. You're watching the wrong broadcast, my friend. Total number of shares purchased in thousands, average price paid per share. Interesting. Looking at numbers. TLDR, what is that? Selected financial data. This looks pretty good. This looks like information that I want. You always have to make sure that you're looking closely at these numbers. So, forward complaints to the board of directors. Yes, Dan has sent the most super hearts in this broadcast, so you can go ahead and forward all complaints to him. How do I have 30 viewers? Because I've been talking about numbers for 2 hours, and most people aren't interested in that. So, a lot of people follow me for other things, and investing is for the few, not the many, which is why it's a rich people's game. All right. So this goes back to 2014. I actually love this. I love this very much. Now, sometimes they'll have the most recent data on the left. Sometimes they'll have it on the right. So just make sure that you're plugging in the correct numbers to your spreadsheet, because you'll see on my spreadsheet, I have the most recent numbers on the left, and I put older numbers to the right. So it could be very easy. Let me just close this. It could be very easy for me to get confused and put the wrong numbers in which case it would look as though the numbers were decreasing instead of increasing. I'm not a trader. All right, so now we have to figure out what are the numbers that we want to pull into our spreadsheets from this report. And we can get the numbers all the way back to 2014, which I love because some companies only provide like 2 years of data or 3 years of data. So we're going to start with net profit, which is labeled very clearly, very beautifully right here, net income. So these, this is the line that we want to look at for our first line. And you'll also see up here it says in millions except per share amounts. So this is not $30,000, this is 30,000 millions. All right? And I like to put the zeros. I'm kind of weird. It probably wastes time, but what can I say? So we have 30,736 millions. So that's 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So there's our number. 12662, 19478, and you can make your spreadsheet however you like. If you don't like putting the zeros, then don't. I'll probably one day evolve to not doing that because I'll get sick of typing zeros. But until that day happens, I like to see them. They're very beautiful. Okay, so we can see the percent change year over year since 2014. From 2014 to 2015, they had a nearly 16% increase in their net profit. That's a beautiful number. Then they had a 19% increase in their net profit the next year. Beautiful. Next year, not so beautiful. Down 35%. Next year, up 142%. Did I put the number in right? Holy shit. Whoa, yes I did. That is a big number. Now keep in mind this number, because this went down, it kind of skewed that a little bit, but still it is a huge increase. So that's a great number. These are good. These average out to be 10. We want to go back 10 years, and we want these percentages to average out to be at least 10% increase per year over year. Okay? Averaging out. All right, we'll go to the gross revenue now. You guys still tracking with me? I know it's getting late. What time are we at? It's midnight. Take a stretch. Drink some water. We're almost there. All right, so then we have revenues right here. So we're going to take this line next. Trudy, thank you for the super hearts. All right, thank you, Dan, for the super hearts. So this is 136,819 millions. 136,819. I'm saying millions. I probably shouldn't be saying it like that. You're barely hanging on, Mike. Mike's like, I'm way too lazy for this crap. Just go by VTI, okay? 110,855. Again, I have no qualification to give you that advice. But buy a total market index fund if you want to be lazy, like most of us should be. And really, you should do that anyway, even if you're not lazy, because it makes the most sense and it's the safest bet. This is just for fun. I said this stuff all in the beginning. I'm losing a little bit of energy to keep repeating myself, but this is just fun. This is just a good time. And if you don't think so, you're just not a geek like me. And that's fine. I was in a broadcast yesterday, a little digression, okay? I was in a broadcast yesterday, and it was a call-in, it was a debate, and it was a good discussion, I felt like. I was one of very few females involved in the discussion, which always is a bit discouraging to me. I wish there were more women that wanted to talk about this kind of stuff. Any women in the broadcast? Chloe's here. I'm proud of her for sticking in here. Trudy is here. She just sent super hearts. Chloe said this is very fun. Yes! Okay, this makes me happy. But anyway, so regardless of being a female, they were talking about sacrifice. We were talking about altruism, virtue of selfishness, individualism. How can you take care of other people unless you take care of yourself first? Is altruism good? Is altruism bad? Really interesting conversation, in my opinion. I disagree with that, Mike. However, there was a bit of a lot of times when you're having an argument with someone, and by argument, I mean debate, right? I don't mean like an emotional name-calling fight. I'm talking about you have a point of view, they have a point of view, you have two different points of view, and you're talking about your points of view, you're presenting facts for your side, they're presenting facts for their side, and you're arguing the points. A lot of times the problem here is that is a problem of definitions, where one person's, you actually agree, but you define a word differently. So you're assuming that they mean the same thing by this word that you mean, and if you had just taken the time to settle definitions in the beginning, the argument probably never would have even come to light because you actually agreed from the beginning. So we realized that we didn't totally all agree on what the word sacrifice meant, because I had brought up altruism as a dangerous thing. To sacrifice yourself for other people can be very dangerous, because then you put yourself in a position of need and charity. So if I give all my money to somebody else, now I need, right? So I haven't really helped anyone. If I have a surplus and I give from my surplus, I'm still taken care of, and now I've helped someone else. And also by learning how to build a surplus, I can then teach other people to do it. And as we all know, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. So education, I think, is more powerful. But regardless, so one of the guys on the call was saying that he sacrificed by not watching sports and instead taking time to educate himself and then to educate other people. And I don't know if that's a complete sacrifice, because that's a choice that he wanted to do. And when you're sacrificing entertainment in exchange for education, is that a sacrifice? I almost view that as kind of an investment of his time, not a sacrifice. He didn't lose anything. He didn't give anything up. He, in my opinion, actually gained from that investment of time and energy and resource. And yes, and we were talking about the word choice and how sacrifice also involves choice. So choice is not separate from sacrifice. So what I mean by altruism is I mean that you're sacrificing, you're actually losing something that you have for someone else's benefit. So even right now, like I'm sitting here, I'm sharing this information for free. I know some people are supporting me, which I very much appreciate and value so much. Thank you so much. But it doesn't feel like a sacrifice, right? I'm enjoying this. I'm also benefiting financially from it. And we learn oftentimes the best through teaching. So I benefit from it. So therefore, it's not really a sacrifice. Even if it does benefit other people, I still don't view this as altruism. Really, I'm not giving something that I now don't have so that someone else can have it. Now, throwing myself on a grenade to save your life, if we're all in a room and someone throws a grenade and I jump on top of the grenade and use my body to try to protect everyone in that room, that is a sacrifice. That is altruism. I don't think anyone disagrees that that is actually sacrifice. So the term sacrifice is actually somewhat of a gray area, and I don't even know how this exactly came into my mind, but I thought that was kind of an interesting topic that we were talking about is it really a sacrifice if it benefits you? Is it only a sacrifice if it benefits someone else? Is altruism and sacrifice two different things? So, food for thought. You give up the rush that sports provides adrenaline. By watching it? Okay, perhaps. But you're not necessarily giving up adrenaline, right? So adrenaline is actually like a stress hormone in your body, and it's actually somewhat damaging to your body. You use your body gives you adrenaline to try to protect you because it thinks your life is at stake. So that's not necessarily a gain. You know, maybe it's a pleasure. I don't know. It probably does release some, I would think, like some type of dopamine. If you're actually playing a sport, that's a little bit different as well. Like you could sacrifice your physical health for you know, the pursuit of knowledge. But again, like, is it really a sacrifice if it's benefiting you? Because a lot of these people in the chat were also in the call too, were talking about like sacrificing things for their children. And I'm like, well, again, it's not what I'm talking about with altruism, right? Altruism is like, I give the clothes off my back to someone that I don't know, right? If I give it to my kid, I'm not really being altruistic. Like, I'm still protecting my own genes and my own interests and my future, you know, generations. Even if I die to save people I love, it's less of a sacrifice than I die to save people I don't know, I think, you know? So there's different levels of all this. Anyway. Short-term pleasure. Right, yeah. What does next juice mean? It means a connected group. It's short for nexus of people that value positivity. And we use juice as like a slang term for positive energy, positive topics, humor, love. There's 10 different forms of positivity kind of all bundled into this juicy community. Me hungry. Okay. All right, cool. True altruism is done anonymously. Okay, that's another possibility. So interesting. I know that's not related. Okay, I'm sorry. I see Dan typing and I'm afraid, so I'm gonna go to the equity. All right, equity. I always have to remember what I use for the term for this number. Equity. Is this my equity? No. Maybe. Equity. Google segment. Okay, so this is just Google, but that's okay because we're looking at Alphabet, like Laura had asked about earlier. So I'm just looking at some of these numbers down here, getting somewhat familiar with what they have in addition to their, this is interesting, United States revenues. Oh, as opposed to revenue from outside of the country. Interesting. Lots of numbers we don't need for our spreadsheet, but I would still want to familiarize myself with this. I'm flying through this because I'm trying to get this done quickly. But, you know, they even show you like what they spend on marketing, what they spend on admin. Pretty interesting stuff. And what percentage of their total revenue that is. I'm just going to fly down here. Okay, here's what's this. Oh, these are this is quarterly numbers. Assets. Okay, here's where we're getting into equity. Here we go. Liabilities and stockholders' equity. Here's some equity. What? Oh, down here? Okay, this I always have to, okay, so then I get to this part. Every time I do this, every time I do a new company, because I always leave quite a chunk of time between, I have to go back to a previous one that I did and remember what numbers I used for all of these things. Because we have, if you look on the spreadsheet, you'll see we have equity, and we also have equity plus debt. And then the annual report has stockholders' equity total stockholders' equity and total liabilities and stockholders' equity. So I believe these are the numbers we want for equity, and these are equity plus debt. But I always like to double check so that my numbers are consistent across my sheets. And you'll see here, they only give us 2 years of data, which is pretty common as well. Did Ed fall asleep? I would assume so. It's getting kind of late. I'm not sure. All right, so I'm gonna check my Apple sheet, and what I'm gonna do, I'll take this off real quick. I just wanna pull up Apple Annual Report 2019. 2019. On the SEC. No need to check. Liability is debt, so no need to check. But I just like to make sure that I'm being consistent with the numbers that I use from one spreadsheet to the other. It's a little bit of a refresher for me, right? Okay. So this is September 29th, 2018. I don't know if I had these numbers yet, but I definitely have the numbers from before. Okay, so we'll check. So here's the Apple spreadsheet, very, very similar. 2018 is on the right. Okay, more recent number on the right. Okay. All right. So we have here 177628 and 152502. Oh, and then we have 232792. And 197295. So we're starting to see some numbers here. We have return on equity. We have return on invested capital. The 2018 numbers look really good because they're over that 10% minimum that we want. The other numbers, a little bit lower, but at least there's some return. The higher the number, the better, of course. Then we go to operating cash, which I think I'm going to need from the cash flow statement. So let me see if I can find that easily. Cash flows, here we go. So we have net cash provided by operating activities. Again, I'm going to compare this to my Apple and make sure that I have used the same number. Go down to their cash flows. You can also find these numbers on like the NASDAQ and not have to look on the actual reports themselves, but you keep trying to zoom in, I'm sorry. Cash generated by operating activities. So we just want to make sure these are the numbers we used for our Apple spreadsheet, 77434. Yep, okay, good. Good. Everything's going quite well as of right now, except I highlighted the wrong one. I want this. Oh, I want to highlight. Come on, highlight the one that I want. Hey, why you do this? What? Why can't I stay on this line? Good night, Mike. There it is. All right, so we have 47971. Thank you, Dan. And 37091 and 36036. Whoa, that's interesting. So we have a 3% increase from 2016 to 2017 and then a 30% increase in 2018. So when you see numbers like this, also there can be changes in their accounting methods, or something major may have happened to change how they report these numbers. Maybe they acquired a different company during this year or something like that. So again, like I said, you would want to do a lot of background research first, usually before running the numbers, but just based on numbers alone, these numbers aren't too shabby as of right now. Okay. So, and again, I would normally go back further than this, but let me just run down one line of numbers so we can at least have something down here at the bottom. All right, so we have depreciation, amortization. Which I think is actually probably up with the equity. I can probably just search for it, but it might bring me into a crazy... I feel like I might be overlooking it there, but let me just check the income statement. I feel like their income statement is weirdly separate from their other, their cash flow and stuff. Why? I'm not sure. So in this instance, I might end up just going to the NASDAQ because I'm getting a little tired, but this is how you can pull it right from their report, just so you know kind of where the numbers are coming from that you look on the NASDAQ, and also so that you remember that you want to also read this. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't see it there, so I'm going to search. Here it is. Yeah, I did look past it. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So we have depreciation, amortization. Interesting. We have these other ones too. I wonder if Apple has something like that. Wait, is this their cash flow? Yeah. Depreciation, amortization. Did I just add those numbers, or did I just use depreciation and like fail at life? Oh no, see, they have depreciation and amortization as one line item, which is nice. Alphabet has depreciation and amortization on two separate... Oh no, wait, their depreciation, they didn't put anything. What? What? They have no depreciation. What the hell? Okay, so I guess just amortization. That's weird. Is that weird? You guys feel like that's weird? I feel like it's a little weird, but whatever, I'm just gonna go with it. Alright, so 8164. 6103. 5267. Accounts receivable. I don't think that's on here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is just search it, because these aren't really very close to each other. The balance sheet. Hang on, let me just see where else they have this. What's this? This is the cash flow. Accounts receivable. Yeah, this is what I want to use. So they have negative numbers here. Negative numbers here as well, but not this year. Interesting. Okay. Let's check theirs. Accounts receivable 5322. Is that what I used for them? Yes, it is. All right, we'll go with it. So these are, so you can even see just between Apple, which uses the most recent numbers on the left, and then Alphabet, which uses the most recent numbers on the right, you can see how it can be easy to fudge numbers. So just pay attention, breathe, stay focused while you're doing it. 2169. Welcome back, Brent. And then 3768. 2578. Oh my god, I had tuna today. How did you know? Hi, Julia. Alright, accounts payable. Sorry, I was highlighting the whole thing at one point, wasn't I? There. Oh, hey. Because we are BFFs. Did you smell the tuna on my breath? Alright, accounts payable. We have 1067. And sorry, I'm seeing some messages popping up here. 110. Yeah, I know, friends. I know, but I couldn't, like, it's because of Survivor. When I do the Survivor stuff, it's just like, just looks better when it's like this. So as long as you can see the nextjuice.com, whatever. You can also see my head, it's fine. Let's talk Mario Kart. Are you playing Mario Kart right now? Is Ed playing Mario Kart? Don't tease me like this. I still have a half hour that I have to do this for. Alright, income tax. Right here. You want to play? I'll play after this if you want. Love you, Brent. I think he might have fallen asleep. He was playing earlier. Last I left him, he was playing. Ari says she's been playing for 5 minutes, so she knows all the combos already. Alright, minus 2251. They're in there in the chat talking about it. They might be, it seems like they're playing. 8211. Need to look up cheats. I was thinking the same thing. Alright. Maintenance, capital, expenditures. This is always a fun one to try to figure out. Oh, great. Capital expenditures. They're not putting, like, what is all this? What is this, just the Google stuff? Why is this in a weird spot? Wait, it says as presented on the statement of cash flows. Let me look for this number. 10212. Purchases of property and equipment. Fuck. Okay, that's definitely a capital expenditure. I'm good. I was gonna say I'm orange. I don't know the shortcuts either. Hey Mark, we're doing a valuation of Google. Alphabet, really. Who owns Google? How are you doing? Proceeds from disposals of property and equipment. I think I'm just gonna use these numbers because they're always supposed to. I'm not gonna take these numbers here away from them, which I feel like maybe I could, but it's better to guess low than to guess too high. So we'll just go with that. So maintenance capital expenditure for 2018, we have, oh here, I'll highlight it for you. $4:30 in the morning? Whoa, you're up real late, Chase. You're trying to win Chloe's heart. I like that. All right, minus 25,139. Minus 13,184. And minus 10,212. Number of shares. This one's usually pretty easy to find. Just Google. How many shares are there of Alphabet? I like specific numbers. It's giving me a rough number, but I feel like I want the specific number. I mean, I guess it could end in a bunch of zeros, but let's see. So shares outstanding is another way this will be worded. Market cap? No. searching around. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay, here we go. This is interesting to me. Jovial, thank you for the super hearts. So this is not only tells me how many shares are held, which I don't know if that's really the total number of shares, so it's interesting, but it also tells me the percentage of shares that are held by institutions, how many people hold them, what the value is, and here you can see the top 5 holders of institutional holdings, number 1 being Vanguard, which is the one that I've been talking about throughout this broadcast. Now, when I Google how many shares are there of Alphabet, right here I see total shares outstanding is 341 million, which is interesting because it says that 245 million are held. So where is the other 100 million? I'm looking at you guys like, what the hell, but you can't see me, so. Look at my eyes. Whew, staring at my computer for a little too long. So this is interesting. How about total shares outstanding Google? I'm Googling it, so it's like, I feel like the numbers are, like they can show me whatever they want. Their Class B shares are not listed on any stock exchange or traded on any public market. This says 15 million plus 700,000. This is not a useful number. Let's try macro trends. Hey, Jovial. It really depends. So do you already invest? What are you already invested in? We'll kind of ask some questions to see what you think. My name's Taylor. Okay. This says 745 million? What in the world? 745 million? Am I drunk right now? Like, why is this so difficult to find out? I said that this is the hardest one to find so far. This is 245 million. This is 745 million. What the what? Alright, here's the one Dan likes, Yahoo. Let's see what they have to say about it. Wait, is it even on here? This says 342.07. Are you a day trader, Brian? Why is this number not consistent? Oh, do they have to report it on their, on here? Let's look for the word outstanding. This is really interesting. Look at this. Larry Page, Sergey Brin, and Eric E. Schmidt beneficially own approximately 93% of the Class B common stock, which represents 56.5% of the voting power of our outstanding common stock. Huh. So what number do I use? Look at this. They have all sorts of different types of stocks. They're like Class A, 9 million, Class B, 3 million, Class C, 3 million, Class A, 298,000. Like, what is this? Class A and Class B common stock and Class C capital stock and additional paid in capital. What am I looking at right now? I just want to know how many stocks we can buy. Like, what the hell? I feel like I should use the total number. Oh my god, the word outstanding was not the right. Conversion of Class B to Class A. They put 50 million shares on the market this year? What's happening? What is this? This must be where they got that 740 million because they added up these three numbers. You're losing? What do you mean you're losing? Midnight. How many shares are there? Why is there so many classes of shares? I will tell you that I've evaluated 5 companies before this. Apple, Amazon, Twitter, Microsoft, and Republic Bank. This is the first time I've come across this. It's not going to help you understand what's happening. But if you'd like to smoke, you're welcome to do so. Dan, wake up, help me. What would you do? What number would you use? Just add up these 3 numbers here? A plus B plus C? Or would you use the number on Yahoo? Or... Jimmy Neutron. Dan, are you there? I don't even know if he's still with us. Kind of sounds like he died. I don't think he died, but... what number should I use? NASDAQ has 245 million. Yahoo has 342 million. And then the actual number looks to be closer to 700 million. I think I'm going to just make an executive decision here, and I'm going to take the number that Yahoo is using. So if you're not tracking with me, here we go. So they have 300,000 plus 46,000 plus 350,000. You know, I know they're millions. Okay, so 300 million plus 50 million plus 350 million. So we have 400 plus 300. It's about 700,000 shares. Sorry, 700 million shares total. But what's interesting is that it looks like, I'm guessing this is what's publicly available. 245 million. But then Yahoo has 342 million. So I'm just kind of like, I think I'm just going to use this number, you know? 342 million. Hey, our club, how's it going? Let's use 342. Let's use that. How long have I been Imperial? What does that mean? Cash you outside? What does that mean? Heyo! Happy Monday. Like, it's Monday, right? Yeah? Technically, it's not Monday anymore. But anyway, okay. Number of shares. Wait, what was I just doing? Yahoo. 34207. 34207. Is that right? Yeah. Now, it doesn't look like that's how many shares they had before. Let's see if we add up these 2 numbers here. What numbers are those? It must be this plus this. Let's see. We have 299360029 plus 465355019. That's 345.8. I don't know where they're getting these numbers from. I'm gonna put a little note in here. Insert note. Per Yahoo, they have, let's see, using the number Yahoo has. Their annual report says they have 3 classes of stocks, A, B, C. Some are publicly traded and some are not. You guys can see that, right? You guys can't see the note I'm writing? That's weird. Oh wait, did it go away when I clicked away from it? Yeah, you guys can see that, right? I can't. Class B, not public. Yeah, but it doesn't look like Class C is either. You did see it. Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Laura. Because, look, Yahoo has 342 million, and NASDAQ has 245 million. And when I Googled it, there's like all sorts of very similar different responses. One place said 700 million, but it was like a random like Google result. And then when you look at this, how it's broken down, you have 300 million of Class A, you have 46 million of Class B, and then you have 350 million of Class C. Class A is Google and Class C is Goog. What? How did you know that? You're my hero right now. So should I just use the 299360 because I'm evaluating GOOGL? I don't know what's happening. Should I use the added up total numbers? Like 700 million? What number would you use, our club? I was trying to ask Dan, but I think he fell asleep. I've evaluated 5 companies before this, and I've never come across this before. Nice seat. Thank you. It is pretty nice, isn't it? Oh, it's got a hair on it. It's got a few hairs on it. Oh, no, that's the same hair. When they split in 14, they made Class A and C. 700 billion? No, 700 million. High risk, one-off. High risk, one-off. What? You're saying words now? Out of context, I'm not really sure what you're saying. Because I'm calculating earnings per share. Hi, Kenneth. Here, I'll show you my spreadsheet here. So this is the number that Yahoo used. Hi. So I have profit, revenue, equity, operating cash, equity plus debt, return on equity, return on invested capital, depreciation, amortization, accounts receivable, accounts payable, income tax, maintenance, capital expenditures, owner earnings, 10 cap price, number of shares. Well, actually, this owner earnings is based on... Oh yeah, no, it's not. Number of shares is really just helping me figure out the price per share, 10 cap. My stock was split into the 2 tickers. So interesting. Well, then I should change the name of this to Google/Goog. And what do they have at the top of their document here? It's just alphabet, like it doesn't say the ticker. Oh yeah, title of each class, Class A and Class C. See, what's interesting is so Class B isn't available for us to purchase, but it's still considered part of the earnings, right? So those shares I'm still calculating earnings per share, or am I only calculating earnings per share for the shares that are available to purchase, since those are the only ones that I can purchase? I feel like a higher number is better. Well, no, maybe not actually. Wait. Yeah, a higher number would be better. It would result in a lower price. Use total shares. Of all 3 classes? I feel like I actually, in a way, if there's 2 tickers, then I actually should be running 2 valuations. One for Google, one for Goog, which would be the same numbers. But... So what would I... So basically just one is attached to the Class A, so I would use that number of shares, and one is attached to Class C, so I would use that number of shares. But how do they split up the earnings? Why don't they have 2 separate reports? Like, why is it not treated as 2 separate companies if it's 2 separate tickers? This is an unusual case. It's not normally this complex. Yeah, the Class B is like, yeah, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, yeah. And for me personally, like because it's this complex and kind of confusing and a bit watered down, personally, I would just not buy this company. I would just say that this is outside of my circle of competence. Maybe one day I'll be confident enough with investing to deal with this company, but right now it's a bit like over my head. So, but whatever. We'll finish with the numbers here. We've made it this far. I'm just gonna use the number that Yahoo has. Okay. Earnings per share. Why is this telling me 0? Whoa. Why is that number B22 minus C22? Oh, because I didn't put in a number here. Okay, what numbers am I missing for this year? Is it just those bottom ones? Yes, number of shares. I'm just going to copy it over. I don't know, there might have been a change, but I'm really not going to be investing in this, so I don't really care. We have an 143% increase in earnings per share. So I'm going to kind of like put the brakes on this evaluation. I'm not going to go back and pull the older numbers. Normally what I would want to do is I would want to pull 10 years of numbers, and I would want to look at the average rates of change year over year for 10 years. So I'm looking for at least an increase of 10% per year on all of these basic numbers. So earnings per share, the return on invested capital, so we looked at some of this earlier. I know some of you guys just got here. So earnings per share, the return on invested capital, return on equity, the operating cash, the equity, the revenue, and the net profit. So I want to look at these numbers here, these percentages, and make sure that everything's at least 10% per year on average, so over a 10-year period. Also, you have to take into account when there's major changes, like if they split tickers and how they're reporting everything. So for this, it's a little bit too complex, so I'm not going to go through all of that, but I'm going to finish it out with you to give you the idea of how this pricing is done. So imagine as if we had done that and everything was going at a rough rate. So to have an increase of 143% is a lot, right? There's something changed here that probably caused it to happen. If we go back and look at the earnings per share over 10 years, the average is not going to be 143% increase per year. It's just not. If it was, it would be like a miracle company and you'd be paying out of the butt for it. So let me use Apple as an example of a company that I did pull those numbers back 10 years. So for the earnings per share, it was 23% that year. The year before it was 6%. Year before that it went down 14%. Year before that 35%. Year before that 7%. Year before that -11%. Year before that 61%. Year before that 85%. So you can see how it really fluctuates and ebbs and flows. So what I would do is I would add up those numbers, divide them by 10, figure out the average as long as it's over 10%. Well, not even just 10%. Now I have to come to a place where I'm guesstimating what I think this is going to grow at. I like to be conservative, so let's say I think it's going to grow at 15% per year or 10% per year. And even that doesn't feel that conservative, but with some of these mega companies, they do tend to have a decent amount of growth. And if you look at their history, that's the only thing we have to indicate the future, right? So if something just grew 143%, to say it might grow 10% the following year, maybe it will, maybe it won't. We're not looking for a 1-year turnaround on these things. We're looking at least 10 years into the future, okay? Let's see. Hey Joe, yeah, I am, right? Google, that's what I own. Interesting. Do you have Goog as well, or just Google with the L? Financial engineering, yeah. Exactly. Total ANC. Financial fixing, more like. I'm just giving up on this company on Alphabet. It's not something I'm going to invest in. If I can't even find like an easy way to understand the numbers, I'm not a full-time investor, right? I'm not going to sit here. I'm not managing funds. I'm not analyzing these numbers. I'm not analyzing this stuff on a day-to-day basis. So for the way that I'm investing, which is pretty passively, now I'm invested in VTI, the Vanguard Total Market Index Fund, which is managed by them, and they're a major like hedge fund manager. They can decide whether they want to own Google and how many shares and all of this for me. That's wonderful. I pay them 0.3% to do that. That's fine. They they are the biggest owner of Google shares, and they do own, the VTI fund that I'm invested in does own Google. It is one of the top holdings. So I still own Google, but I'm not going to independently purchase and trade and track this because it's just over my head. And maybe it's not for you, but for me, it's, and like I said, I've analyzed Twitter and Apple and Amazon and Microsoft and Republic Bank and never had that problem where I felt like I can't understand this. This is too far over my head. I don't understand these numbers. So this is an oddity. All right. This doesn't usually happen. This is the first time that I've kind of basically called it quits halfway through, but I'm going to finish doing the pricing analysis in a theoretical state so that you at least get the full lesson here in terms of how I do the numbers, how I plug them in, so you can see what it looks like before I have the completed chart here like this. This is the Apple chart. So you saw where I pulled the numbers from, you saw where I pulled the numbers from the financial statements. You're looking at the income statement, the cash flow statement, and the balance sheet. Okay. Look what's happening in the markets. So what's interesting is that people seem to think that, oh my God, the markets are down so much. It's crazy, it's chaos. But we've looked at 5 different companies tonight, and Amazon, which you would think would be up right now, Amazon is actually the only company of all the companies. I actually didn't check Republic Bank, but in terms of Microsoft, Apple, Twitter, which one am I missing? Microsoft, Apple, Twitter, Amazon. So Amazon, okay. So Amazon was the only one. The other 3, so Twitter, Microsoft, and Apple, were all actually down lower than they are right now just 1 year ago. It's pretty significantly so. So it's not so much of a dip as people are saying. Oh my God, it's a crash. A year ago the prices were lower. So, everyone's like, oh, it's a great time to buy. And I'm thinking, not really. A year ago I didn't think that we should buy at those prices. So I certainly don't think we should buy at these prices either, unless something massively has changed to change the value of these companies, which I don't see any reason to think that, at least not with these couple companies that I'm looking at. So, look big picture, okay? Don't always believe the hype. How much cash and marketable securities does Apple have now? $300 billion. I don't know. Percentage. What company is stocking now? We were looking at Alphabet and Google, but it got a little intense. We're going to finish that. I just want to finish. Index funds are the right way to go. That's what I have. I have VTI. That's my major investment in my Roth IRA. But I do own Twitter independently, which I shared my history with that earlier. Bloomberg Terminal makes easier to get numbers, but it's $2,800 a month. No! Index, you might be right. Safe way to go, right? You use hedge fund to help you. You can't really buy like a total market index fund unless you have some fund manager that has it, right? I can't buy a fund. It's someone's fund that I'm investing in, right? I don't pay like a financial advisor or like a person to manage this. No. Vanguard, it's just like the management fee for the fund, right? 0.3%. So keep in mind, it's a small number, but you actually don't want to spend more than that if you can help it. Some people are paying their like financial advisors like, a few percent. That's like, you might as well just put it in a 3% savings account and call it a day. Everything is a risk. Yeah, of course. Costco has not dropped with current average drop. Interesting. Heads or tails, basically. Yeah, management fees suck. Heads or tails, it shouldn't be, right? You don't want to be making a heads or tails type decision. You want to make a very well-informed decision. You want to look at the numbers. You don't want to just say, I'm just going to pick one randomly out of a hat, I'm going to pick the one that has the nicest looking CEO. Any of the brokerages can do that. Fidelity, E-Trade, Schwab, they offer 0 commission trades on their funds. On Vanguard funds, yeah. Pretty much all of them on Vanguard, yeah. So what were we want to finish Alphabet out here. Okay. So what we need to do is we have to pick a percentage that we think is a realistic number per year that they're going to increase year over year. we're looking at 143%, okay? So you can go much more liberal with your number than I'm about to. I almost always use 10% because I kind of want to know worst case scenario. Like if this company grows by 10% per year, because the overall market grows on average maybe like 7% per year over the last 100 years. So for one company to outperform the market is pretty rare, right? So I don't really like to put my numbers too high. You can look at it and say, well, they're doing 15, 20, 30% per year and say they're going to just keep doing that the next 10 years, but call me a bit of a skeptic, you know, a bit of a pessimist in that sense. I'm pretty optimistic, but not with investing, right? I don't want to be gambling here. I want to say, let's be pretty conservative. Let's say 10%, which still doesn't even feel that conservative to me, but let's use 10% so that I can stop explaining this and we'll just get to it. All right, so we're taking that earnings per share, $89.85, which we just used all those numbers to calculate. This is with no growth, okay? Oh, I didn't actually change these numbers here. Let me change. This is supposed to be with no growth. Okay, so with no growth, we also need to get a P to E ratio on this one. So we need to look up, sorry, I gotta use my cheat sheet real quick with the numbers that I'm using. So for this pricing, you use either you use the lesser of the two, the estimated growth rate, which is 10%, or the average historical P to E ratio in the last 10 years. So you look up P to E, let's see, alphabet P to E. Okay, I don't know what Guru Froker says. I like macro trends. Let's use that. Price ratios. Okay, so this is all. So we only need to go back the last 10 years. So we have 2010. Okay, so let's just go with the 331 numbers, right? Because these are quarterly numbers you'll see here. Yeah, Mickey, but it didn't do that with a lot of these companies. If you think about where the markets were at 1 year ago. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull out a calculator and I'm gonna say 25.86 plus obviously it's gonna be 10, but whatever. Let's just, for the sake of teaching, 21.56 plus 19.5 plus 23.77 plus 29.21. Yeah, the virus is scary. 26.18 plus 32.14 plus 28.7 plus 44.02. We're evaluating individual companies right now though, not the market as a whole. 29.52. Look at that, we actually have the number for this year. So 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That puts us with an extra number. That's okay, we'll just divide by 11. Plus 21.82. Divided by 11 instead of 10 because I took that extra number. We have 27.48. So again, we're taking the lesser of the two. This is my little cheat sheet right here. The lesser of lesser of 2 times the estimated growth rate or the average historical PDE in the last 10 years. So again, our estimated growth rate is 10%. So if we take 2 times that, it would be 20. So what's lower, 20 or 27.48? It's 20. So we're going to use 20. Very high PDE, yes. A lot of these companies do end up being that pretty like that. All right, so we're going to put 20 here. Okay, so the margin of safety price for Google, if there was no growth at all, would be $224 a share. We're going to put in our estimated growth rate here for 10%. We're going to not increase that, we're going to just apply that 10%. This is the power of compounding shown right here. If it increases by 10% each year, your earnings per share in 2028 would be $233. I'm sorry, it would actually be $256.35. And sorry, I just want to check. Okay. I think this number should actually not. Oh, okay. Sorry. Just curious. Yes. No, yeah. 2028 would be 233.05. Sorry, refreshing my own memory here. So then our margin of safety price would be $640.88. Our 10 cap price we already had, which is $304. So those two numbers are pretty significantly different. And then we're going to go back and calculate our payback time price by pulling our free cash flow. I'm just going to copy. Will it let me copy just the number instead of the formula? Let's see. Paste special. Values only. There we go. Estimated growth rate. Now we're doing estimated growth rate of the free cash flow. So if we look back at the free cash flow, we don't really have much to go off of, but we can see that it's decreasing. So this is not what we want to see. We want to see all of these numbers, all the percentages that I'm calculating on this spreadsheet. I want them to be 10% or higher, average per year. Again, I only went back 3 years, and I'm not going to spend too much more time on this one because of the weird stock split and everything. But the numbers are going down. So for me to think that they're going to go up is very optimistic, and I don't particularly care for that. So I had 5% for Apple. I don't hate 5% for this one. I don't know. Okay, so what is this? What does this say? Expected growth in free cash flow. So why don't I have this applying? Oh, it doesn't apply till down here. 5%. What am I? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. So I added it. Okay. I got you. So why is this not calculating? E3 divided by F3. Oh, because I don't have the number of shares. Sorry, it took me a second there. All right, number of shares. I'm like, what the heck? Why is this not pulling a number? All right, we're going to keep the number the same, assuming the number of shares stays the same. All right, there we have our payback time price, $637. So this 10 cap price seems pretty low. We're going to consider that somewhat of an outlier, and we're going to say we don't really want to pay more than $640 for a share of Alphabet if we can help it. I'm going to guess that it's probably costs a lot more than that, but let's just look it up. It's a little bit weird because there's two tickers, so we'll see. So Google is $1,073 per share, and Goog is not loading. Are we still live? Is my internet crashing? No, here it is. Goog is $1,084.33. Is that the same number? $1,084.33? No. Yeah, okay. They're close, but they're not the price that we want them to be, so we would say that is overpriced based on our pricing methods. So does anyone have any questions on this before I go? Because I think I'm at 3 hours here. Yeah, I've gone over by 7 minutes. They're experts in their field. This is accounting. Well, not really. You're still looking to possibly do an interview, probably Skype with people who are experts in their field. Yeah, absolutely. Antivirus, the way to go, our toiletries. You can say they controlling us, but it's the health for our communities and country. I didn't say that. What? Tay's doing math. Yeah. Hi, Marcus. Fang stocks. They have a much higher ratio. Fang stocks. What's that? The world is going crazy. It's being used as a scapegoat to test a 0-day event. 13. Okay. Ciao. Love you. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a little something. I know if this is your first time here, it can be a little intimidating. It can be like, whoa, that's over my head. It's like trying to take a drink out of a fire hydrant. Stick with it. Read the books that I recommended. I'll show them again. None of them. Okay, First Republic Bank actually was the right price, but only if you only invest in companies that have meaning to you, that are within your circle of competence, you like their management, they have good, strong moats. There's other things besides the numbers, but just on the numbers alone, First Republic Bank was the only of the 6 companies we looked at tonight that have a number that met the criteria, which is rare. It's really rare to find a good company on sale. They're good companies, right? They're not usually on sale. They don't need to be. So these are the 3 books: Invested by Danielle Town, Rule Number 1 by Phil Town, and Financial Freedom by Grant Sabatier. In order of reading them, I would actually say, let me just move this one here. I would actually probably go in this order. I don't know why I'm doing right to left, but here we are. So this one first, Financial Freedom, then Invested, then Rule Number 1. Because this is going to talk about financial freedom in general. It's not just about investing. And then these books are specifically and very detailed, this is like going to take you how to build that spreadsheet, really intense about investing. So again, if you don't want to get into all that, you don't want to run these numbers and make these spreadsheets like I'm doing because I'm a geek and I kind of find this stuff interesting, you can just invest in a total market index fund. Easy peasy. Jim Cramer series of books. Ooh, what's his book? Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. I did Apple, Google. I didn't do Facebook or Netflix next. So actually, that's a good point. Let me look up what the next company would be that we would be researching here. And I'll show you how I've been making the choices on what companies to search. Let me pull up my screen again here. So let me go back to the top. So this is VTI. This is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, which is the total market index fund that I own. Oh, hey, Stephen Paul. Thanks for the compliment. Thank you. You too, Gary. I didn't finish it yet, no. I have a couple of chapters left. So if I go down to the bottom here, I can see the month-end 10 largest holdings as of the end of the last month. So we've done Microsoft, we've done Apple, we've done Amazon, we've now done Alphabet. So the next would be Facebook. And I think that's what you said, right? Yeah, Facebook. So Netflix isn't on here, so it's not on my list to study, but Facebook is actually more in my circle of competence. It's a company that I would actually potentially invest in separately. These companies are big companies. A lot of people know them, so it's fun to kind of look at them and explore them. But Facebook, because I'm a social media influencer, that's right in my wheelhouse. So Facebook will be our next one. So stay tuned. Oh, Kramer refers to them as Fang. Okay. And thank you for 50,000 super hearts. Thank you so much, Dan, top contributor to the broadcast. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Davey. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Carissa, Whitey, DJ, Will, John, Trudy, and Mark. I'm so glad you guys like to talk about this stuff. It's really important to your financial future, to your financial freedom. I know we like to have fun on here. We do game nights. We talk, random stuff. Definitely in the private group, we have some fun in there. But it's fun to get a little serious sometimes. Crunch those numbers, put the work in, stretch your brain, put your mentality to a little bit of a test to secure your future for you and your children, to elevate ourselves financially. I know that when I was going to school, I go to school right now. I'm not learning any of this. I didn't learn it in public school. I didn't learn it from my mom. I was raised by a single mother. This isn't stuff that's taught all that commonly. So I like to share it with you guys as I learn it from different books. And I know some of you are like, this is super boring and I'm asleep now. And some of you are like, this was awesome. I'm so glad that you shared this. Thank you so much. So thank you guys. Thank you for all the appreciation, financial and otherwise. Love you so much. I sincerely hope to see you guys on the next Juice. We'll probably do something a little bit more lighthearted next time to give your brains a little break. Heart Club, thank you so much for the super hearts. Love you, love you, love you. Love you guys here who have supported on the website and Venmo and Cash App and all that good stuff. So, yay, I'm glad you learn. Yeah, even if you learn just one little thing each time we do this, I learn a lot, and we got to look at a new company, and we got to find out this weird stuff about Google and Goog, which shout out to our club who's not only now lighting it up with the super hearts, but also told us about that because we were so confused to know what was going on. He came in at the perfect moment and really helped to clear that up. So thank you so much. You saved the day. My hero! And I totally forgot to be reading YouTube comments. United Amendment Outpost says, don't forget to buy your toilet paper. It's great. Okay, so we didn't miss too much over on YouTube. All right, I go live every single day on Periscope, 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. I also did this broadcast live on YouTube. Update your Periscope app. Update your Periscope app because now you can see all of someone's previous broadcasts, which means you can now access all of my over 4,000 live streams on Periscope. I couldn't even do that before today. I couldn't even access my own streams, but now you can go all the way Pack, wherever you want, any broadcast that you're looking for, it is there, right there on my profile. You can also see when people created their profiles. You can see who's following them of the people that you followed. Definitely seeing more of this Twitter and Periscope integration. Really awesome update. I love it. It's not just one of those updates that's like, you know, like, oh, resolving bugs, working out the kinks. No, this is a nice update. And it updated quickly. It wasn't a big update. It's just like it changes the way the profiles look. So check that out. If you want to click the 3 dots, click my name. If it looks different, you've done the update. If it doesn't, go do the update right now, because this is the end. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thank you guys so much. I love this. I love that you guys allow me to do what I love so much, which is this. I just love you. I love you. I love this. I love it. I love it. Bye, Steven. Bye. Are you called Smiley? Is that your nickname? I have to clean up all this cash. Okay. Good night, guys. This has been A Moment in Time with Taylor. Hope to see you on the next shoes. Saul, love you. Bye, guys. I'm clicking the wrong button. There it is.